Okay. All right, I'm going to start now. Here we go. Okay, and we're live. Welcome, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back. We're gonna roll a quick obligation roll. 54. I think that's either, is that really gonna be Necro again? 54.
I'm calling bias because that'll be out of 4 games. Necro's got it landed on 3 times.
Do you get a mulligan? No, 54 is Angiver.
All right.
It's shy of Necro this time. I knew it was toward the top of the list, but it's not quite the last bracket.
What is Necros or what is Angiver stress or obligated about?
It's Black Sun.
What about?
Well, he's still got to pay him back for some kind of retribution for the shoddy craftsmanship that led to him getting that bounty.
All right. We're gonna roll our force point, our destiny point. All right, light side.
Oh wow. You guys gonna give me any dark side?
Oh, don't worry. I'll use him if I get bad rolls. I think Angiver's got one that uses 2 destiny points, so he'll give you some too if he has to create something.
I don't have it yet. I need 15 more points to even get into it.
Okay, well, so if I make a bad roll, there you go. You got some.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Did it get rolled twice?
Yeah, I'll set that back to 1.
It did. I don't know why I did that.
It might be lagging. Hey, real quick, last game. So we did not engage in a counter because that encounter would actually trigger stuff. So my character used his advantage and stuff from his roll to do a permanent backdoor, and he's aware of the hidden code on the console, and then he was going to do a mechanics check to search for any type of booby trap that could shut off the hyperdrive that's mechanical. So I think that's where we were last time before we left.
Yeah, and that was that like day 6, or was that somewhere in the 4 to 6 range?
That would have been somewhere in between the 4 to 6 range. You said trying to deactivate it would start an encounter, so.
Yeah, and I think that was later on in the range, so it's probably day 5 or 6. And yeah, you can do like a mechanics check. I'll say, what is the there's a one for assessing a structure.
I think that's 2 purple. If that's from the mechanics charts, right?
Yeah, so I would say at least a few setback on that, because you're probably trying not to have anyone notice you're doing it. So I'd say,
can I not just do it during that 30-minute timetable where the droids are not on the deck?
oh yeah, you could. So let's see, that would be, instead of we'll say 1 setback for kind of a rush job, and then 2 purple to kind of get this middle deck checked out.
Okay, so yeah, it says average, but the difficulty, but the GM can adjust as needed. Undertake a quick structural assessment, turning experience eye at an allied building or vehicle, silhouette 5 or higher. Character
Since it's been concealed, I'm going to say, let me check skullduggery here on the person who would have hit it.
So was it concealed, or was it made to look like other mechanical parts?
It was concealed kind of internally, so you'd have to kind of find the pieces that would say something that's not usually there is there.
So would that be a matter of looking at mechanical stuff and determining, hey, this looks out of place or something?
Yeah, I would say it's probably mechanics versus skullduggery. Just because they made an attempt to conceal the mechanical alterations but you are doing kind of a mechanical assessment with your level of expertise at what looks right.
Okay.
And you've been working in the system for several days, kind of with the wiring and everything. So I'd say you probably have. I'll give you 2 boosts because you've been kind of working for a week in the internal wiring systems.
Oh well. So he's gonna actually. So are we thinking he has to take apart some stuff and look behind things to do a thorough inspection?
It would be tough to know where to take things apart. It's more kind of like you're looking for something non-standard, kind of like a needle in a haystack type thing. So it's kind of just going to be a simple, to kind of simplify the rolling, mechanics versus skullduggery.
Yeah. But I'm saying if I'm having to move stuff around, then I probably would be able to use my use tools. Basically, if I'm having to get in behind a console or something and look behind it, lift up the lid, see if there's any wires that are connected to something that's not supposed to be there. That's what
I would
basically,
argue
if I
you'd
can
be
use-
allowed to use tools to assist you.
Okay, that's basically what I was asking. Okay, so what's the difficulty then with the
Let
setback?
me check this guy's stats. Does he have skullduggery?
I'll go ahead and move us to the map with the ship.
So it's just gonna be 4 purple, 2 setback, or 4 purple, 1 setback for the rush. He has no ranks in it.
Okay, 4 purple, 1 setback. And I'll do 1 boost for being familiar with it. All right, I'll be using my my micro or my compact toolbox and utility arm to help move stuff around. All right. So I was able to discover it.
So yeah, you're able to find some wiring and some power sources and circuitry that suggest that there's something buried deeper in the framework of the ship, near the bridge, that is feeding and it's receiving and transmitting information. So it seems like some kind of remote, dedicated, almost like a HoloNet relay link, but very, very dedicated and specific to kind of like a mod that would allow someone to remotely control the systems of the ship.
So my character would like to, if it's sending and receiving information, it sounds like it might be a computer type device. So I'd like to try and gain access to the device to get an idea of what I'm looking at.
All right, so to gain access to the device, you would have to probably get past some security.
Yeah, so you can just combine the roll, upgrade, whatever you need to do so that we can do it in 1 roll. I have slicer tool. I have the integrated slicer, what is it called? The cyberjack that can be used as slicer tools. So I can access it that way and have the right tool for it.
So this is he has the improved defensive slicing. So I think it was 3 red and 2, was it 3 red and 2 purple? I think, or was it 3 red and 1 purple?
It improved defensive slicing. Instead of giving you a setback per rank in defensive slicing, upgrades the check per rank that you have in defensive slicing. I don't remember which character it was. It's been a week.
Yeah, let me grab. So let's see. You were rolling before, but I know you were reducing difficulty.
You can make it more difficulty too, or add setback because of time crunch, or just combine the roll just to, if you want to go ahead and upgrade
There's
it again.
a couple layers of security. You're trying to do this without being observed or detected, and you're just going through it in 1 roll. So I'm going to say 4 red, 1 purple, and 2 setback, because I know you're gonna probably slice a little bit off of that.
Yeah, with my with my precision goggles, my augmented reality. Okay, so I'll do that. Here we go. All right, barely successful, but it's successful with the triumph.
All right. So yeah, you're able to access that system and see that it is kind of.
Can I use the triumph to have an idea of what it's doing, so that before I come back tomorrow, I can make basically a mock version of that, but to transmit false data and then do a little switcheroo, Raiders of the Lost Ark style.
All right. So yeah, it's from what you can tell, it's kind of giving updates about changes in the system to some outside user and allowing them administrative access to the computer systems of the ship.
Okay. All right. So we'll finish up this day, and then that's what my character's doing during this day. So we can move on to other people.
All right. So let's see. And Guyver, what are you up to? Did you have anything you wanted to do on that last? So we'll say this is day 6. Did you have anything you wanted to kind of prep before the last day while you had access to the ship? Or were you guys going to try and take it early? I couldn't. Were you guys going to try and grab it on day 6?
No. We decided that since we didn't know it would take an encounter to deactivate the code, but once we realized that it would require an encounter, we didn't want to do it early. So I was just going to have my dice rolled, give me a permanent backdoor on the console, and that I'm aware that there's a hidden program that grants a user access using the advantages to gain useful information.
All right.
Right. Because if I remember correctly, we figured out that with his role on the first computer's check that they didn't know that we were rooting around in there.
Yeah, he was able to detect that there was currently a user in the system other than himself, and they hadn't detected him yet.
Okay, so they don't know at least as far as we are aware, they don't know that we've been messing around with that stuff. So yeah, we'll be still going to, I think, what, one more day?
Yeah, day 7 was our plan, so.
All right, so last day on the docks, did anyone want to put anything else in place before the last kind of trickery maneuver?
Our smuggler doesn't appear to be online.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't think so. I think Ketkam would just be trying to be as normal as possible at this point, just trying to fit in, not look like there's anything going on. Like he's trying really hard.
Jehaat, I remember you mentioned something, and it might have gotten lost in the mix, what we did about it. But you mentioned something about maybe trying to flag that other crew. I think. Did we have that conversation briefly?
Yes, but I don't think we ever talked about where it would be going, like how we would be going about doing that. But yeah, if we got the time, that is something I would like to do.
Yeah, so you could probably put out some kind of attempt to like use your kind of socially rigged access to the ISB to try and convince someone else to put out the alert, maybe.
Right, just kind of a system bolo on them or something.
Yeah, and you do have an Imperial security team. They're not like ISB officers, but the ones controlling security here would be one option, or kind of mentioning something to the head technician, who happens to be the highest ranked officer here.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna do that. So, what do you need me to roll, sir?
Let's see. I don't think this guy is really spec'd for resisting. Where is the officer? I had him on here. Is he on the other map now? We'll just use an Imperial Army officer for now. Willpower, where are you at? So deception goes against discipline.
Yes.
So that'll be 2 red, 1 green, 2 red, 1 purple, to kind of get this guy to kind of do something officially through official channels.
Okay. Okay, rules question. What happens if you reduce the difficulty of a red die? So if they have a red die and you reduce the difficulty by 1, does it turn into a purple or does it go away completely? I'm not 100%.
I think we've been playing as it goes away completely, right? With the slicer, the built-in slicer link. Is that correct, Necro?
I don't have my handbook right in front of me, otherwise I would double check.
I think if you're reducing the difficulty, because normally the purple's an upgrade, it probably would reduce it to a purple. I'm not sure though.
I think there's a difference between downgrade and reducing difficulty, though, right?
Right, because a downgrade would reduce it from the red to the purple. So I'm just saying if there's no purple dice to remove, there's only red dice, what happens?
It removes a red dice. It removes the difficulty by 1.
Okay.
So if it's 3 red, then it becomes 2 red.
Okay, got it. All right, in that case, let me roll that. All right. Do I want to use those dark side pips? I don't think so. I think I'm okay. No, you know what? I'll go for it. You know what? I don't remember the rules exactly for burning dark side pips, so I'm gonna not use them this time, and I'm gonna double check that.
It takes a light side point, and then a conflict.
Yeah, I won't use them this time. Okay, so just the 2 success, 2 advantage.
All right. So yeah, he said, "Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I'll pass it up the chain so that we can keep an eye on these folks, especially so close to completion. We don't want anything to interrupt our work here."
Yeah, I'm still searching to see if I can get some more concrete evidence right now, but I feel like if they're gonna make whatever move they're gonna make, I feel like I'm right on the verge of a breakthrough here. But if they're gonna make whatever move they're gonna make, it'll be here in the next couple days. So just want everyone to continue doing the fantastic work that they've been doing. Remain vigilant.
And he's kind of looking on an encrypted comm device right now, and he says, "It appears they've already been a crew matching this description has already been flagged for quite a few bounties. So yes, this seems like something that we definitely need to pay close attention to." All right, so with that, we're moving on to day 7. So you guys are kind of, or evening 6, I guess. You guys are kind of getting ready for the final.
So Necro would like to meet up with the group and report what I found. So I've discovered they've got a hidden hidden software protocol that looks like they can possibly control the ship remotely, and they've also got a device that also looks it's gathering data, but I wouldn't put it past them since it's actually in some of the core systems wiring that it could actually control the ship. I do have a plan though. I think tonight I might have gathered enough information from that device that I can make a decoy device that also transmits information that looks accurate, but does not have the ability to take over systems. So it will be a read-only version of the object I found. So I think I could try and build one of those tonight and do a little switcheroo inside the ship tomorrow. What have you guys found? Any red flags on your guys's?
No red flags here.
No, nothing so far. I think with those taken care of, and I've tried to throw a few little speed bumps in the way of that other crew that might be trying to move in on us.
So, one area of concern I have is that it might take 2 slicers to pull this off because there's 2 of these devices. Installing, so I could build a computer device, but installing it might be a mechanical type thing. So if someone could do that at the same time while I'm trying to access the system, it might take 2 of us. This might be a 2-person job while someone's flying the ship or whatever and holding off anyone trying to board us.
I can take care of that.
Are you going to be the pilot too?
No, I don't have any fighting skills.
Who's our pilot for this job?
I thought we were going to use robots for it.
Was the pilot originally going to be Jaquel?
That is possible.
Does Ketkam have any piloting?
I do. I was just about to look up to see exactly what it is that I have and what.
My super stealthy droid I have is like a rank is 6 in agility, so he could definitely do assist if he needed some fighting assist.
Okay. Yeah, I have. It looks like 2 yellow, 1 green in planetary, and 1 yellow, 2 green in space.
Okay, so what we need to do is decide what we're going to do once we're on the ship and ready to roll. So it sounds like this software is actually on the nav computer, so I will need to do that. Someone will need to start flying the ship, and Guyver will need to make that modification to do the swap-a-runo once I build the decoy device, and then we might need someone to be ready at exits for encountering any stowaways. Also, there's two droids that I don't have enough time to get computer spice on, so there'll be 2 that won't see us as authorized users, but all the other droids are good. There's just 2 that there's not enough time to do.
Well, I've already snuck the droids up there. I just need to I assume I put them together, but I haven't been told making rolls yet.
Oh, I'm talking about the sentry droids, the ones that patrol the ship.
Oh, we just gotta take them out.
There's 2 that need to be taken out that don't see us as authorized users.
Okay.
So you need to be aware of that.
All right.
All right. So let's see. What else? Oh, you guys are still planning, huh?
Well, we just need to know what's going to be our secret word to be in our positions and for this bomb. I think you said there's going to be a bomb scare to go off, so we need to know whatever our secret word is to get everyone on the ship and ready to make plans. Oh, do you?
I could also have a Viper set off some mines and even put some ones there left legit on purpose in certain areas, so to really scare people, make them want to leave. especially this in our areas.
Yeah, I was thinking at least. My original plan was to have at least one be found. Have Jahat pretend to find one, and quietly alert the Imperials, and then call in his fake bomb squad, aka his three little goons that are waiting in a van outside.
How are we gonna get the ship out of the station?
I was to say if we leave maybe a bomb that they can find here near their ship, and maybe to keep it safe and everything like that, we have to take it out of the docking.
Yeah, that's been the plan is to basically like talk to the Imperials and be like, hey, we don't want to spook whoever has the trigger for these bombs because they haven't set them off yet. So let's pretend we're doing a test flight or something like that.
Well, we can set some bombs off and in the chaos take the ship.
My concern about that plan is won't they want their own pilots to board the ship and evacuate everyone from the ship if they're going to take the ship on a test drive, or to get the ship out of the repair station?
I'll just switch out who the pilot's going to be.
Yeah, or we can shoot the pilot if we need to.
Oh, in the midst of the chaos, because I'm sure other ships will be scrambling to get out of that location. Especially if we have several bombs go off around ships and stuff like that. Them blowing up, they're just going to have people to get the ships out of there. I'm sure maybe we can find some protocols on how that whole works.
So what's the business day look like as far? You said we should be done by the end of business on day 7, whatever our shift is, right? From us.
Yes.
So what is that like in the evening? I'm just trying to get an idea of what time that's gonna be like.
As far as like when you're, do you mean like are you going to be done with the ship early or?
Yeah. When the ship will be ready for us to we'll be able to go into the out space or whatever.
I think you shaved a few hours off. I'm trying to remember how many successes there were. There was at least 4 or 6 hours shaved off. So I think it was going to be midway through the shift that you guys were going to be ready to take the ship.
Okay. And they're still expecting the ship not to be completed for another 7 days.
Yeah, so I think it was 7 or 10. I can't remember.
Oh yeah. It was 10 originally. So they're still not expecting the
like
ship
3
to be ready
days.
Yeah. Okay. So whatever that time is, let's go ahead and have plans to get every one of our people on the ship, and whoever needs to do their bombing and stuff, do that. But I will definitely need Angiver and myself on the bridge, and then we'll need someone to maybe Wah. You got like a big gun to maybe.
Is it a droid or is it a human?
Is what a human droid?
Like the one that pilot has said it's gonna pilot this thing. Is it a droid?
I'm pretty sure. Well, there's no plans to have anyone pilot it now. This isn't supposed to be ready for another 3 days. I'm just 3 or 4 days, but we know there's 2 sentry droids that are not seeing us as having the authority to have them stand down. So we know for sure there's going to be at least 2 enemy droids, but we'll need someone to help us hold the bridge. So maybe Wah might be able to do that, and maybe someone else helping him.
I'd say maybe we can lure the droids off the ship by lying to them. Like I have one of my droids as a protocol droid lie to them about that, and then have Viper in standby to take them out.
The problem is these are the sentry droids that are assigned to the ship, so
do that in the day of. That way, all the chaos and everything like that.
I don't think you're gonna be able to override their programming.
I said take them out, like shoot them or blow them up.
Oh, okay. Anyone got any questions then?
No, I just need assembler droids. That's what I was doing those days, and just stashing them on the ship.
All right. So, what do I need to roll? I'm assuming since it's going to be some type of computer thing, it'll be crafting something similar to a computer spike, but it'll be like a computer basically a replica of what I saw based on the Triumph. I think I have enough information about what it does to have it send out the same type of data, but not have any way for them to actually override anything.
Yeah, so let's see. I would say it would be a tool that maybe something that shows you what the incoming commands are. Would you want it to have that function as well, so that you know, like, if you want to fake that they still have control over it until it's advantageous to you, or do you want to just have it be like they have no access to the ship anymore, but they don't know it until they try to change something?
I like the first thing. So if they try to do something, if someone's connected to it, they could send information to make them think that they've done something. Yeah, I want a little LCD display so that we could see if they're trying to enact a command. It won't actually do anything, but it will tell us what they're trying to do. So maybe we can transmit something back, or actually move something on the ship so they can see a visual that they have control. So I like that idea.
Yeah, so I'd say it's probably just like a gadget, a specialist tool that just basically replaces the endpoint output and just instead shows you what's supposed to be happening.
Okay.
Or even like a block in one, because you know where the wires are coming in. So like an interruption in that wire, so that you can say allow command or block command or something like that.
I like the idea of so I can hook it up to a data pad, right? So I'll make it so the data pad can connect to it, so that whenever they're trying to execute something, the command will appear, and then someone who is like maybe Angiver can actually use the data pad and send back information that they're expecting to have sent back as confirmation that whatever command they enacted went through.
So yeah, I'd say like making the device is a specialist tool, and then installing the device will be a mechanics check, like if you want to install it without any interruption in signal.
Yeah, that'd be Angiver's, and he can take all the setback on trying to do that uninterrupted. Sounds good. All right, so in fact, Angiver, if you want, this is mechanical. If you want, you can go ahead and craft it. It's a specialist tool.
Am I crafting it on my ship, or am I crafting here at the location?
You can craft wherever you need to. It'd probably be on your ship, and then if you get it small enough, we can just disguise it.
I'm gonna see what I got roll.
Yeah, you can roll to do that thing you did with those droids, right? To make it look like something it's not, like maybe a battery pack.
You mean compartmentalization or whatever it is?
Yeah, that one that requires 0 hard points.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Does anyone else need to do anything this night before we go back to the repair station?
You may roll on here or Discord.
You can roll on here.
Yeah, there's one. Whatever's easier.
I'll say if I'm gonna be in the ship, that on the last little leg of our day before we're over with, I'll say that at some point I'll act like I'm just patrolling and then checking inside of the ship to make sure that everything's okay, because I want to kind of get a good look at where the pilot sits, and that way I can kind of have a better idea of how to get this thing off the ground without having to be rushed to do it and frantic.
Ooh.
Okay.
How long is that going to take you to build that device? Because maybe we could build something to help with maybe a space GPS or something to help with space piloting roles, some type of tool to help Ketkam with maybe some a gyro stabilizing control shaft tool to help.
Just a headset that like links to a lot of the different readouts and stuff, so she doesn't have to turn her head as much.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So, are there penalties for operating a ship with less than its complement?
Does it require? This just said. I mean, are we missing any roles? There's enough of us, isn't there?
Yeah, it says one pilot, one co-pilot, one engineer. I don't think you necessarily need comm sensor or load masters.
Well, the load masters if we're using torpedoes. The comm sensor is pretty much what my character does.
I snuck 3-4 droids up here.
Yeah, so I guess you could probably have some droids that you have control over.
Yeah, the only penalties for gunnery is not being able to have someone at the guns. So
Yeah.
Viper's hiding around here up here too.
And I've got 3 minions that can man guns.
Right. So yeah, you guys have some coverage. You can probably if we get into space combat, we can determine what you guys can cover and what you can't.
yeah, if this was a Silhouette 6 or even some of the Silhouette 5s that require 35 crew members, then we don't have enough to operate it. But it doesn't. It's not one of those type of ships.
Also, I don't know. I guess I could look at it whenever I'm looking and see if there's any kind of like autopilot settings in there as well. But if there is, I could always set a deal for autopilot and come down and work the guns if we need to.
Typically, the pilot can also control at least one gun.
Yeah, you just can't. You can't make a piloting action and fire the gun during the same round.
Okay, gotcha. Because I was about to say, because I was like, in gunnery, I have 2 yellow, 1 green, so.
Oh, cool. So yeah, you can fire one of the forward. I'm sure there's like a forward-facing gun.
There's a ventral and a dorsal.
And there's those are in the back of the ship. But
no, those are turrets.
Yeah,
the
there's
dorsal and ventral on the top and bottom.
Okay, well, yeah, I know there's 2 turrets on the top and bottom of the back of the ship, which you can see on the map. And then I think there's 6 gunnery positions, so there's other guns as well.
Right, there's 2 on each side, and then there's so there's 2 on each side. There's the one in the front, one in the back, and then there's also the proton torpedo. So there's technically 7 weapons.
Yeah, so you can definitely control one of those for sure.
What's the encroachments of that thing that I'm creating?
It's a specialist tool, so whatever the difficulty for a specialist tool is.
No, what's the encumbrance of the thing that we're crafting, since I got crafted?
Oh, it doesn't matter because all we need it to do is make it seem like it's sending the same information that it's currently doing. And instead of actually executing any commands, you can hook a data pad up to it, or maybe it has a built-in LED screen. And you'll be able to see whenever they try to execute a command, and it'll say what command it's trying to execute. So whoever's actually operating that can actually give them some information to make it look like their command was executed, or if it says to rotate the turret 50 degrees southwest or whatever, you can manually tell someone to do that, and they'll rotate it to give them the illusion that they have control of the ship if they need it.
Okay, so I'll make it an encumbrance 3 and give it compact, which gives a black to check to see if this item has whatever on it. Does it need safety features or no?
No, it doesn't need. All it needs to do is just do it needs to be a tool that does what we need it to do. I mean, it's up to you. If you want to have safety features whenever it'll probably be towards computer, because it'll probably be a computer check to.
Computers like that. That's what I was trying to see.
Well, go ahead if you want. Yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah, if you wanted to put like safety features on it, it would go toward that, like being able to help you install it without being detected, basically.
No, I thought whenever he's just, if they send a command to trick them to make it look
okay,
like
so like if they're trying to see if this is really happening.
Yeah. If there's some reason we need to do a check, that would be applied towards the computer check, is what I was thinking, because it's a tool and it's being used that way.
Yeah, you could do either. I would say you could do either. You can either put it toward computers for fooling the user, or you could put it towards the mechanic, like have like an assisted installation function.
Yeah, because he's probably going to be using mechanic tools that already have that. You can't double dip the our house rules.
Oh yeah,
you
that's
can't
true.
double dip.
Yeah, so it might benefit you more to have it as a computer boost if you choose to use those advantage for that. All right. So I think that's it for day 6. And we're moving on. And or was there one more tool that you guys were, depending on how long that took, that you might be crafting? The assisted piloting tool.
That took an hour to build. That's the least. That's the lowest I can get it to.
So could you throw in a assisted piloting tool?
Yeah, I'd say as long as you can do it in under like a couple hours, because you've been working a 10-hour shift. So like, if you did it in 2 or 3 hours, it would be without extra penalty for fatigue.
Yeah.
Or actually, I think as long as you're not up 24 hours, it should be all right. I'll just throw a.
Well, that last
Also-
one took 1 hour.
Yeah, so depending on how long it takes, it might cut into your sleep time, basically.
Also, really quick question: what day, time, or whatever is Necro's ship leaving out with all of the droids?
It left already.
Okay, that's what I thought. If need be, Kikan can try to make something without the droid.
Yeah, if you wanna try and roll it and see how well you do, you can.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. In order to make that, it would be, since it's a specialist tool, it's what, 3 purple?
If you want to do a specialist tool, or you can do a simpler tool that's easier. It's up to you. A specialist would give you a success, and the other tools, if you get at least 3 advantages, you can give it safety features to give you a free advantage.
You want something for piloting now?
Yeah, preferably something small enough that she could carry
Okay.
in her hand, or maybe her utility belt that's 1 encumbrance, preferably. Because it might look weird with the stormtrooper dragging this big computer contraption. Ooh, nice upgrade. That's an upgrade to a piloting check right there. So the tool he just made will upgrade your piloting check. So you actually have it. It's like you have an extra rank in piloting when you're using that tool.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it looks like you can get the encumbrance down to like 1 or 2, right? Also.
Yeah, I would recommend 1. Mainly, the faster you go, the more difficult the piloting checks are. So if you're not going very fast, your speed is basically what your difficulty is. And then if there's debris and stuff you got to avoid, that's where setback comes into play.
Also,
Okay.
which is it the specialist tool that removes black dice, or is that
That's a precision tool.
precision tool? Okay. Shit. Do we have time to make one of those? Because I'm assuming that the Gozanti has a probably negative handling.
Do you have time to make goggles, like augmented reality space piloting goggles, precision tool?
Oh yeah, it's got -3 handling.
So yeah, right. Is handling
That's a good call.
is positive handling adds boost die to piloting checks, and negative handling adds setback, right?
Yeah. So positive gives you blue and negative give you black. So yeah, well, these 2 tools he built so far only took 1 hour.
So if we can, that'd be cool. But
Maybe it'll do that. Angiver, make a space piloting goggles. Okay, well, we can continue. So he's going to go ahead and make that, so we can continue the story.
All right, so yeah, you guys are getting into day 7 shift starting. Are you guys? So let's see. They're the 2 kind of dangerous, or well, one main dangerous thing that I can think of is trying to, well, 2 actually. Now that I think of the plot, getting the blocker installed without being noticed, and convincing them that there is a credible bomb threat. and shifting the events in your favor to get them to let you take the ship out.
Yeah.
So, other than those two kind of major events, were there any other preparational things any of you guys wanted to do on the dock as you're preparing for as you're starting day 7?
I think they're getting those droids in places that critical systems to explode.
Yeah, and then Ketkam, are you positioning yourself on the ship, kind of as in your stormtrooper guise?
Yeah, if everybody thinks that would probably be the best thing. And like I said, I already went in and kind of looked in the piloting area there, so I know kind of what the controls and stuff look like, so I'm not so flustered and surprised by how to fly it.
Right, and as a stormtrooper, the sentry droid seems to kind of ignore your presence there. So you kind of have the ability to move through the ship as long as you don't kind of make too much of a scene that someone who would ask questions would notice you.
Okay, yeah, I'll be very mindful of that and just kind of, poke and maneuver around, just pretty much like a stormtrooper.
And let's see what map we're on. Yes, so we're on the right map. This would be kind of where you'd be looking around the bridge itself on the second level.
I'm making sure that all my guns are where I could have quick access to them.
Did your character
Yeah, so you were able to get your case into the cargo hold unnoticed.
Both cases.
Yeah, so you can kind of set them up in there. You can try and sneak them onto a different part of the ship if you want to have access to a different
I'm holding
part.
the bridge, right?
Yeah, the bridge would be on the second level. So you'd have to kind of either use the main lift or find one of the hatches and get around the sentry droids that are patrolling.
Could I wait until one of the sentry droids that authorizes us as admin come along?
Yeah, let me see. Does someone want to roll a light side point to see if roll a light side dice to see if the 2 sentry on duty are ones that are friendly to you?
Willing to roll.
Hey, with this blaster I just put in Discord, would that be of benefit to you? It's very good against droids.
Blaster.
It takes 2 maneuvers to put together because it's in parts.
I won't be able to use it as well as my actual gun, but it seems it's very good. So yeah, that could work as well.
Well, Necro's bringing that on board with him. It's in his backpack in pieces that look like a battery, spare parts, stuff like that, because it's compartmentalized.
Yeah, that'd definitely help. Yeah, he'd probably use that.
So at some point before we do our shindig, you can get those from Necro. He'll be on the bridge.
Okay, so my character is going to. So I'm gonna roll the light side die to see if it's good or bad. Nope.
All right, so yeah, the 2 droids on duty are the droids that you don't have control over.
Well, that's actually pretty good, I think.
Yeah, so I'd probably have to sneak past them.
Yes.
So my character will go over before we come to work. We'll kind of show you my notes on what their typical schedule's like, how they check the different dates individually, the decks individually, and that there's a 30-minute span when they're not on the main second floor, which is where the controls are. So I let your character know that information beforehand, so you kind of have an idea about what time they will be on different parts of the ship, so you can sneak around them. So that might give you a boost or something if you're doing some sneaking.
Yeah, I'd
Thank
say
you.
with that help, you get 2 boosts to your attempts to sneak past the security patrols of these droids, and I will check what your difficulty is.
That's the roll for the precision instrument.
Okay. That looks. Is that how small is that? It starts off at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, you can get down to 1.
And since they are, I'm trying to think. It can be perception or vigilance, but they are on guard, so I'm thinking like they could choose the better of the two.
Yeah, you can choose the better of the two, especially if they're NPCs. Usually, vigilance is knowing their surroundings. Perception is actively looking for someone. So if they know for sure there's an intruder on board, they probably be using a perception. But it's
Said they
whichever's
probably use
higher.
vigilance.
I think it's whichever higher, because even if they know someone's on board and they're sneaking around, someone could be sneaking right behind them and they accidentally kick something that makes a noise, or a mouse droid happens to roll in and squeak away when they're alerted to someone's
Man, that's
presence.
very unlucky having a mouse droid come
I'm
in.
thinking threat and despair, so who knows?
Ah, okay.
So this would be a 5 red difficulty against their perception.
Can you put your character on the map?
Oh yeah, let me do that real quick.
What are you going to use the Triumph for with that? With the 4, we'll get it down to 1 encumbrance.
Okay, so this is the bridge, right?
Yeah. Whatever. You can't stack safety features more than once in our games.
So where would my character?
Then, right?
So
Your character would probably be starting off in the cargo bay. You can get to the cargo bay without having to get past a droid.
Okay, so that's
knowing their patterns. There's just going to be one point in your trip from the cargo bay to the bridge that you'll have to sneak past a droid or hide while a droid
you said
walks
5
past.
red?
3 red.
3. Oh, 3. I heard 5. Oh God.
You did say 5 originally.
I have 5 red as well.
Did I say 5? Oh, 3.
Yeah. Okay.
No balls you want.
Well, if it was 5, I wouldn't have done it.
Did you want to boost from Viper, since he's pretty much navigated the whole area already?
And you got 2 boosts for my character, giving you the droid's kind of schedule from what he's mapped out during everyday
Yes,
work.
Since I
two-
have
two
their
blue dice on
schedule,
that.
can I just sneak around when they aren't there?
Well, there's only one point in the whole thing where you'd have to get past one. Because there's always 2 droids, and they're like every part of the ship. You'd have to get past one to get to the point where there's no droids, basically, because they move in overlapping, I guess, lines throughout the ship.
So
And
I'm
you're
guessing
just kinda
this
wait-
is the droid?
Yeah. And like basically you'd have to do something like get into this area and hide while a droid walks past, and then move the rest of the way to the bridge. Or something like that.
I don't see how I'm going to be able to get there while he's there. Or else...
Well, he's gonna move like he does a thing of the whole ship, so he'd move down to here and then come back and use the lift to get up to the next floor.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
it hovers-
in order to... So do I have to use a lift to get to the bridge?
If you know about
hatch.
If you know about this hatch here,
Yeah.
hatch gives access to all floors.
Okay.
If you're aware of it, and I think that's too small for the droids to comfortably get through. They're kind of small. The droid probably could, but it'd be a squeeze. It'd be uncomfortable.
Okay, so I just need to hide and then use that. Okay.
Yeah, or do a stealth roll to open the hatch without making a big noise.
Both would result in stealth rolls. So, yeah, I guess I will I guess I will hide from it then, while it walks past.
All right. So yeah, go ahead and roll your stealth.
Okay. 3 red. That's unlucky.
All right, so let me see.
You were successful, at least.
It's still unlucky.
That's true. Something bad.
Bad.
Let's see if there's anything good for that.
Bad.
That doesn't look like the right stealth table.
Are different stealth tables?
Well, there's one from the core book on the skill description itself, and there's expanded stealth rules from the spy book. So.
Oh.
You just pick one chart. There's no mix matching of charts to prevent, abuse.
So let's see. Characters and access. This seems strange.
Let me go look at that chart.
Looks like you might need some of that stealth armor I made for my droid.
So it's a successful check with despair.
Yep. So that means you get to spin the despair.
So that let's see. Oh yeah, the upgraded stealth actually has successful check and failed check options. So that's kind of cool on the expanded stealth charts.
So yeah, for example, like if he ends up getting a despair, or since he has a despair, for example, like you could say that he leaves some kind of evidence behind of that he was through there.
Yeah, that might be good. Like he dropped one of his weapons and not realized it.
Wait, drop my weapons? No.
No, I said a weapon. You've got a bunch on you.
No, I don't. I only have 2 weapons.
Or
I only have 2.
Or something that leads back to
Maybe the spotted there on the chart where basically this droid is a little bit tipped off. Not enough to fail the check, not enough to actually put out any kind of alert or anything like that, but just like its kind of personal suspicions are a little bit raised, and it
gets an
does
upgrade.
that. Well, I was going to say adds that. The example on the chart is that it adds an automatic failure to the player character's next cool or vigilance check to determine initiative order when this foe is part of the encounter.
I like that.
Yeah, that works. So that way, if combat breaks out and these droids are alerted, then you'll be at a somewhat of a disadvantage.
Okay, that works.
So it kind of it thought it heard something, but by the time it looked back, you had the hatch closed for the access.
So the camera zooms in on the droid's face as it looks around, and it like lifts up. They don't have eyebrows, but the cartoon, it looks like it's lifting up an eyebrow, like it's thinking of something.
And just in time, your hand comes down and pulls the hatch closed behind you before the droids.
Yeah, and then it turns. Yeah, it turns around after you close the hatch, and it's suspicious. I like it.
All right, so you're past the droid in the access passageway, and you're able to get onto an area to hide near the bridge.
Okay, so I got both my guns with me.
Yep, you got everything you brought with you, kind of lugging it up there and finding a spot to kind of sit until the plan kicks into action.
Hey, Ketkam, what kind of weapons you got?
I got. Oh, I forgot. I'm my stormtrooper. I'm gonna say I probably have my rifle, perhaps, and my pistol.
Okay, so whenever the droids are not patrolling this area, and whenever Wah gets to this area, he'll have these electronic pieces laid out on one of these tables over here for Wah to be able to assemble. But they look like a catalytic converter and Coolidge system and some other stuff that does not look like weapons, but they are in fact a weapon.
Okay, all right, sounds good. If I happen to catch him, I will let him know.
All right. I guess next step is probably the droids got to be assembled by Angiver, and they got to be positioned. Then Jehaat's got to do their magic, and then Angiver's got to get back to the bridge as fast as possible before we execute our plan.
All right. So yeah, I would assume that assembling the droids is pretty minor role.
It's an average mechanics check, I think.
Yeah. So go ahead and just roll your average mechanics to get the droids assembled.
Are you guys outside the ship on the station, right? I'll move the map there.
I thought he had the. Didn't you kind of trick the system into loading the droids in a crate into the cargo bay of the ship?
He compartmentalize them.
Compartmentalize them, so if they wanted to check them to see if they look suspicious, they're going to have to roll against the by compartmentalization, which is like 10 setbacks on top of one of them gets an upgrade.
Yeah, I thought last time you created some. You basically created some fake orders that had the droids in the crate moved onto the cargo bay of the ship.
Yeah, I was just saying if they wanted to do any scanners to check it, that's what they'd have to roll against.
So they're on the Gozanti right now, is what you're saying?
Yeah, they should be in the cargo hold.
Okay, let's move back to that map.
So you don't have to worry too much about people on the dock seeing you load them onto the ship. They've already been loaded into the cargo bay.
Okay, so my character will just be hiding out somewhere on the bridge to prepare to defend it and stuff.
All right.
Or near it.
So what's Jehaat doing since this ship's on the ship? Is Jehaat or someone that's good with Gab gonna help come up with a reason why the RA-7 is not gonna be on the ship?
Okay, so wait, this is the one. I thought he was assembling it in the ship.
Yeah, he's assembling it in the ship, but isn't one of these or a couple of these gonna have the explosives on them, or is that a different droid?
What we could.
I have like 7 explosives altogether.
Yeah, I'm thinking we keep them on the ship for now, actually, and we can use them maybe as well. Depend if we get boarded or something like that. If it's by Imperials, they'll be treating the droids as friendly, so we could use them as kamikazes.
How are we gonna get out? I thought the whole plan was to have some explosives go off, so we could say there's a bomb threat or something.
Well, I think the idea is if we set off explosives, that means an attack is actively happening. My plan is if we find quote find explosives, and alert them, we can pretend okay the attack hasn't started yet. That's why we need to get the ship off of the shipyard.
Oh, okay.
If you have them go off, it would also help you when you try to convince them that oh I found them, but oh crap, someone just went off. Oh, crap.
Well, I've got my little explosives scanner, so I can go walk up and show him, hey, beep beep beep, bomb found. So I can have solid proof that there are bombs here, and
I think it would sell it faster for us to get out of here to try to get stuff to safety if bombs are going off left and right.
Hey, so Angiver, you should probably put your character on the map and find where you're going to be assembling your droids. And if they're on the cargo, it's going to be the first level of the ship.
Yeah, my current idea is if we make this a if we can do it without the bombs going off, that'll mean less potential panic on the Imp's part.
Less of a
we can-
lockdown. No, he wants to avoid a
Right.
lockdown.
Right. My idea is if we can avoid the lockdown and have them scrambling and looking for bombs and looking for bombers, but doing so quietly, that'll give us. They'll be doing that a little bit slower. You know what I mean? Because if we can convince them to try and not alert the supposed rebels, then their response will be a little bit more careful, a little bit slower and methodical, rather than Star Destroyers jumping in all over the place. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah. I like having the actual bombs as various backup plans, but ideally, I'd like to see if we could do this without even needing them.
So,
Well, I'd like to take out the tractor beam at least, so at least maybe something near that.
so Necro says, "Give me a heads up." Angiver will be in here with me whenever we're ready to execute our plan. But give us a heads up when you're ready to let them know about the bomb, so I can slice into the door to the blast doors of this room we're in and lock them that way.
Yeah. Do we have anything else that the party is wanting to do? I would assume we have some kind of little signal ready. So I don't know.
I think we're waiting for Jehaat to give the signal since he's the one that's going to discover the bomb.
Okay.
But Angiver's got to go assemble them. Does he need a roll, or are you okay with him just saying it?
I'd say that role can probably just work for the 3 droids. It doesn't seem like something that is likely to fail.
Maybe boosted myself for those advantages anyways.
Do you have tokens?
Well, as long as you're not trying to do anything like super fancy with them, if you're just assembling them, it's pretty incidental.
I was putting them together like they came with the ship, so I might as well put them together.
Do you have tokens for them?
They're just standard RA-7, but let me check.
Here, I threw one of them. Yeah, I threw some on the map. I don't know how many you're making. We don't want them confused with the 3 that we actually need to sell to the rebels.
This is true. We should probably not send them droids full of bombs.
But if they are 9,000 a pop, if we have 6 droids to sell to them versus 3, that's just more money.
Yeah.
Actually, we could probably hack into those ones, steal some of the code, and put it into these ones, and make it seem like those are the same ones too, the ones too as well.
I can
put a little. I put a little assemble on the 3 droids that aren't.
Okay, the decoys. Okay.
So.
And Guyver does that, then he'll meet us on the bridge at some point, and then it'll be Jehaat's. Up to Jehaat to convince him there's a bomb and get back on the ship so we can all take off.
All right. Yeah. So at that point, I'll once we're kind of ready, Jehaat will basically pull his little scanner out and point it at one of who has all the bombs. Is that Wall or Guyver? He'll just scan, beep his little scanner at one of them, and then kind of stick it back in his pocket and go briskly walking off the ship. And he approaches the the stormtrooper captain first, or the stormtrooper sergeant. Was it Sergeant Stone? He's gonna go up to him. And he's going to wave over, I guess, the technician officer and the TIE commander as well. So just kind of all of the bigwigs that are here right now.
Yeah.
And gentlemen, please remain calm. But we have a bit of an issue. And then he's going to show them the scanner, that's beeping and saying, I don't know, explosive residue detected or something like that. Now, I don't.
The technical officer says, "Are you sure it's not some component of the ship's payload or something like that?"
Can I hear all this conversation they're talking about?
They're off the ship, I think. You got
Yeah, this is happening off the ship right
This
now.
is probably close to the lift, I would guess, like the central
Yeah.
lift. You went to the sergeant first.
Yeah. And so I'm quite confident. It's the normal torpedoes and such aren't normally attached to the hull that way.
Identify what they're saying. What kind of role would that take?
I don't think you're close enough, unless he's transmitting over comms.
Well, I have my droid watching, so I say, what would it take for that? What would it be to listen in or like read?
So hold on. Did you give your droid orders to shadow them and relay the message back to you?
Yeah, I told him just to watch the area and everything like that. Like say while he's around, like say far enough and say out hidden.
So
people say otherwise.
if you're given a droid complex instructions, it's up to GM, but you can require a leadership role to see how well the droid's able to understand something complex.
Well, the problem I can see is that like there's not a lot of places to hide out in the middle of the space station. Like the droid was utilizing access hatches and closed off elevator shafts.
Yeah, it's got a scope on its wife so it can like look in and stuff like that. So probably I might not hear it, but it can probably like watch for speech patterns and stuff like to see if anything identified. That's what I'm saying. What's the difficulty? Would you like to recognize anything you're talking about?
It would be tough for you to actually recognize unless he has some sort of long range microphone or something like that.
Yeah, I mean most of the guys are wearing helmets, so you can't see their lips move.
Oh, they got helmets on.
I mean, a lot of them do. I mean, the army,
The stormtrooper and the pilot probably do.
yeah, the stormtrooper sergeant, the army officer.
Does Jehaat have a helmet on?
No.
No.
Okay. So what would it be to pick up what they're saying?
Maybe would xenology be the closest? I mean, that's what you roll to understand a different culture.
No, it'd be perception of some kind, probably.
Oh, okay.
So let's see. The closest you could probably get is long range or medium, I would say, looking at this deck. Like you'd have to be somewhere near the edge. So it would be a pretty tough perception check. I want to, because you're reading lips too. And I'm not sure that your droid has any ability to read lips. So
That's why I was.
Yeah,
suggesting
if you want to spend a destiny point and do an impossible roll, that's probably what it would be.
But also, we're probably not going to be talking about anything that I haven't already told you about.
Yeah, I mean, he's just holding up what looks like the explosive sensor and gesturing with his hands, and they're talking back and forth, is what you can see.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it looks like he's not convinced and they're not willing to do something.
Okay, he's just looking to see if something looks like it's about to go south. Like if they're about to arrest him or something, that's what he's waiting
Well, they
for.
don't believe him.
Okay, yeah, you could probably watch body language and stuff like that. That'll be.
Yeah, it can shoot with that rifle up to extreme range, so it can scope in.
Okay, well let's let Jehaat do his thing, and if it looks like he's going to get arrested, I'm sure the GM will let your droid make a roll.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, showing him the explosives. Say, okay, I don't know if you gentlemen, you may not have noticed, but there are currently no explosives going off. This is good. This means we've caught them before they've set off whatever it is. So my personal recommendations are the following. First of all, we need to. The main thing we need to do is we need to avoid alerting the rebels that we've caught onto them as much as we possibly can. So we need to lock down the shipyard, make sure nobody gets in or out, other than us, of course. Secondly, we need to reduce the amount of potential damage that happens right now. What's the tech officer? Commander Fallon? Yeah. Commander Fallon, I think it might be good if we maybe tried to do a test flight to make sure the engines are functional, and by doing so, we can get the Gozanti away from the shipyard in case anything does go off on either the shipyard or the Gozanti.
All right, I can try and have the crew called in for a test flight.
How long will that take?
Um,
Because we don't need to do anything too complex, and I can call in my team to come in, and they'll have some more. Well, we don't want to risk that they've maybe potentially tapped into the regular Imperial comms, but I can call in my. I have a squad nearby that is trained in explosives disarmament, and so I can move them on the Gozanti. It's nothing complex. We can take the ship out on a drive in a big oval, and we can go through and search the ship top to bottom, make sure nothing too dangerous is going on there.
and Commander Reaver, the TIE pilot fighter, says, "Well, I could take one of mine, and we can fly the ship easily enough if it's time sensitive and we can't wait for the crew."
That's also a good idea. Sergeant Stone, obviously we need to lock the lifts down other than my team coming in. And also we need to pull aside this individual, and he gives the name of that one of the crew members that you and I discussed previously, Stephen.
Oh, yeah.
This is one of the crew members that I've discovered has possible ties to the rebellion, and if there's anyone on this crew right now that I suspect would be involved, it is him. So if you can quietly send some of your troopers to go pull him aside and start preparing him for questioning. Again, we want to avoid doing anything too obvious in case they do have people watching. So we maybe pull him into one of the side rooms up here.
Yes, well, Sergeant Stone, have your men watch the ship from a distance, and I'll send an order for him to report and make it seem like something routine, and then we can grab him when he's far enough away from the ship.
All right. I'm gonna call in my disposal team, and they'll be up here shortly.
He walks over and sends an Imperial technician over to the ship, and shortly after they return with letting him walk behind them. They return with that crew member that you mentioned, and lead him into one of these rooms. As he walks in, the stormtroopers a couple of stormtroopers close in after he's already entered.
Shock Brad time. Okay, and I get on my comm link and call my three guys to come up here. And I'll wait over there kind of by the lifts to let the security people know that they're with me and that they're authorized to come in.
All right, so we should do a deception roll for all of that first. And the discipline of the commanding officer was 3 red difficulty.
All right, and what do I want to spend those 2 advantage on? I'll take deep cover for that one. So I get an extra advantage to social skill checks for the remainder of this encounter.
All right. So yeah, you've got that phase of it. They're convinced that the ship is under threat of some sort of bomb attack, and they have detained the member of the crew that you kind of designated as the fall guy. And the two TIE pilots, the TIE Ace and the TIE Pilot, make their way over toward the ship.
So when they pick up that guy and take the guy off to question him, I want to set one of the bombs off.
All right, where are you setting a bomb off?
It'll be far away from the ship on the opposite side.
All right. So as that's happening, and you're walking toward the ship with the two TIE pilots, a explosion takes place right around, we'll say, here on the space station.
What are I know it's a game check, but what's the difficulty? I guess on those, anyone know?
What are you attempting to do with it? Just like, are you trying to not hurt anybody, do damage to the station, do damage to equipment?
So it's going to be like a terror attack. So probably damage mostly to probably ships away from personnel. So that's probably why I put it at the far end away from people. But either do this damage to the actual station or to like ships in the area.
So there's a couple of shuttles on the station. There's 4 TIE fighters, and so you want to blow up one of the TIE fighters?
Yeah, and whatever if there's anything close enough, if it takes damage as well.
All right, so let's see. So setting off an explosive is a mechanics check. What kind of explosives are you using? Do they have like breach and stuff?
They're mines. I think they got mostly at blast.
He's asking, does it have breach to get past the armor?
Roll a stealth, just for your for Viper to be able to plant those explosives, because they're probably going to have to be planted inside the workings of the ship to do damage.
Okay, what was the difficulty?
Let's see. We'll say against. We'll do a group. And this would be vigilance probably rather than perception. So let's see. Vigilance. Wow, these guys are terrible. 2 purple. And 2 setback because it's kind of out in a trafficked Imperial area, and he definitely doesn't look like an authorized droid. So 2 purple, 2 setback. And Jehaat, you probably might want to start thinking about what you're going to do to keep this ball rolling forward, because it might shift what people are doing as far as the pilots and the officers.
Did my team make it up here by this point? Are they walking with me and the pilots?
Yeah, you guys are probably about 10 or 15 feet away from the Gozanti, ready to climb the boarding ramp.
All right. So at this, I'll mutter a little bit of profanity and snap at the 2 pilots to hurry and get this thing off here before they set off more.
All right, so you would be rolling against. Wow, these guys aren't like super high on discipline or. Yeah, so it'd be 2 purple, and I think you can remove that.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So they pick up the pace and run up the ramp with you.
I didn't see any purple on your roll.
Right.
Yeah,
I can remove up. I can reduce the difficulty by 4 right now.
Cool.
He has a bunch of from building the cover identity over the last week or so. He has a bunch of crazy stuff going on.
All right.
So yeah, you guys make it up onto the first level of the ship, and they kind of rush over toward the lift, and move up the lift toward the second level of the ship. So I'll move the map over if it's not already moved. Oh no, it's already moved.
Yeah, and as we get up there, I'm going to kind of very loudly yell at these darn alien technicians to step aside, official Imperial business and stuff.
Can you put your tokens on the map so we see where you are and what's going on?
We're gonna roll for the mine so I can say to blow it up.
It's probably like, I'm guessing 2 purple or something. It's you're just blowing up a mine that's already in place. I'm just grabbing these guys from the map and moving them over to this map. So we have 2 TIE pilots, TIE Ace and a TIE pilot, standing on this lift. And Jehaat, are you just kind of accompanying them?
Yeah, I plot myself up there by the bridge, but yeah, he'll be with.
Okay. I need a second Jehaat on the map. I'll move these guys over to where you are. So you hear the lift coming up, all of you guys that are up on the bridge, and the doors to the bridge open up. These TIE pilots come through.
Ah, wonderful! One of our troopers is here. Yeah, trooper. Let's see, you technicians, whatever your names are. We're preparing to take a test flight, so you may assist as needed. Trooper, keep an eye on them.
Alright, so that mine has blast 6 and burn 1.
All right, so it's pretty impressive, but it doesn't do a ton of damage to the TIE fighter just because it doesn't have breach.
So does it like set the cockpit on fire on the inside?
Yeah, it probably does some damage to the systems because you were able to put it inside. So the ship's probably not going to be too functional.
So
And the seat's all burnt up.
Well,
So-
I critted. Well, we get to crit of 2 to crit, so I've critted at least once with an extra crit too.
Do you have to deal damage?
Yes.
Two.
Yes, you have to deal damage to crit.
It's 13 damage.
I was saying, but you don't get past its armor. Its armor's at least 2, which means you have to do at least 20 points of armor plus 10 points to do 1 whole point of damage. So you're looking at 30 damage.
Yep. So you said 30 damage,
Yeah, 30.
and it's inside the cockpit.
Well, that's up to the GM. You could, instead of doing crits, though, it would be damaging specific systems levels of damage. Well, does it have Sunder, though? Technically, if it doesn't have Sunder, you're technically not. I don't know. It's a GM call.
Last, so is there anything in there?
You might be able to use a Triumph to do something to the TIE fighter.
Doesn't Sunder only work on items that are being held by someone else?
You know, I think Sunder is weapons.
For the Triumph, it causes it to go into critical and then explode itself too, so maybe damaging nearby fighters as well.
That might be a little much for a personal scale weapon.
Maybe the
I would
leather
say that you
seats.
can probably disable this TIE fighter.
Maybe the leather
crit.
seats catch on fire and some smoke starts coming from the cockpit to draw attention. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes attention like that. They think everything's going on over there.
Yeah, they're kind of rushing to get some like fire extinguishers basically to try and fight the blaze inside the cockpit.
And with that seat being on fire and stuff, I don't think any TIE pilots want to sit in that seat, being uncomfortable and not having the seatbelt and all that stuff. Who knows?
Well, if that doesn't cause enough damage and stuff, I can always set some more mines off.
Bold of you to assume that TIE fighters have seatbelts.
They have to give the TIE pilot a false sense of security, otherwise no one's going to get in those death machines.
But yeah,
They tell them they have ejector seats, but no one's ever successfully seen someone eject from a TIE fighter.
rebel sabotage and propaganda.
Enough sabotage over there to for everyone's attention to be drawn elsewhere.
Yeah, it seems like most of the security forces are kind of focused in that direction or the lift currently.
I'm gonna have Viper sneak aboard before take off.
All right, yeah. So he's able to kind of slip in as the cargo bay doors are sealing. He can kind of get in through there or try and sneak in on the ramp.
And
But
you got my wall. You got my weapon, right, Wah? Are you there, DJ?
Say that again?
You got the weapon I left for you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it only takes 2 maneuvers to assemble it, so you probably have plenty of time with all of them doing that stuff.
Yeah. My character assembles it.
Okay, cool.
all right, so you have these two TIE fighter pilots on the bridge. The ship is sealing up and getting ready to take off, and I believe everyone is on board.
Do I need to send a droid out with some mines attached to it for more fun, everyone?
So you're in the cockpit with us with the 2 stormtroopers, correct?
Yeah, I believe so. Is that where you told me to go?
Yeah, so you might be careful what you say. The TIE pilots.
Oh, so he's not with us, the guys?
There's 2 TIE pilots on the bridge with us.
Yeah, there's 2 TIE pilots, one sitting at each of like the control consoles.
What was that noise I heard out there? So it sounded like an explosion.
No, I think it was one of the test runs on one of the engines on one of those other ships. Nothing to be.
And they start
concerned
powering
about.
up systems and doing like pre-flight checks and stuff to make sure. Looks like most of the systems are fully operational.
It sounds like it came from out on the other side of the shipyard, the depot.
Exactly. So it sounds like it's probably nothing for you to be concerned about.
Oh, I hope so. I hope everyone's okay.
Well, odds are it was probably just one of the aliens.
Yes, perhaps we should clear the bridge of non-essential personnel.
Do you need any of these other consoles operated?
It wouldn't. I can take pilot. My subordinate here can take co-pilot. I don't think we'll need many of the other systems just to get us out for. Is your you said you were bringing a couple of bomb specialists on board?
Correct. They're already. Those were those 3 gentlemen that split off from us when we got on the lift. They are currently making their way through the other levels.
All right. Yeah. So they say as well as long as we have explosives ordnance disposal team on station, we should be able to make our departure.
Yes, I'm sure they'll be calling another team up to begin checking the actual station proper. We need to make sure that this ship remains intact.
And as the system powers up, you can hear some chatter on the radio about reported explosions and spinning up a bomb squad. And you do also hear something about a shuttle preparing to rendezvous with you once you've left station.
Is that safe?
We're bringing additional. explosives ordnance disposal personnel at the behest of the of higher command.
All right, sounds acceptable. But I think the first thing is to get us nice and far away from both the station and, well, at the risk of there still being heavy explosives on this ship, we also want to be away from other ships. Do you have a course plotted for us?
Yes, we're going to take it straight out past the station, a little bit, a little far away from the planet, just kind of into open space right now. They're clearing a lane in planetary travel as well to keep ships out of our way.
Good, good. Because if they are trying, well, if those damn rebels are trying to steal the ship instead of blow it up, then this would be where we are at most risk.
And they continue their kind of powering everything up, checking systems. Looks like everything's good to go, sir. Then let's take her up.
Where, out of character, at what point do one of us need to access the system to start doing the astrogation? Would they have to be in the pilot chair?
Let's see. It would probably be somewhere on this deck.
Necro's already programmed the astrogation. He's hidden it in some code, so we just push the button. We can do the astrogation.
Okay.
But it had to be Necro to do it, though.
Yeah.
Just a kind of afterthought here. Did anyone actually install that thing that you made?
Not yet. We are waiting.
Okay.
That would be something Angiver's supposed to be doing.
Okay. Where is he here on? I can't tell tokens. Is he here on the bridge with us?
Yeah, it looks like Angiver and Necro are on the bridge. And the TIE pilots had suggested you clear non-essential personnel from the bridge.
Trooper, take these technicians elsewhere and keep them away from anything important. Keep an eye on them.
Okay. Right away.
Is the air conditioning functioning in here? It smells like alien.
Hey, those extra rolls were for extra mines if I need them to go off so they make more of a fuss.
You hear a few other small explosions going off as the ship kind of kicks into motion, and then leaves through the atmospheric barrier on the landing.
What are the sentry droids doing?
What are the what?
Sentry droids doing?
The sentry droids right now are they haven't been ordered to do anything else, so they're continuing kind of their patrols.
All right. I guess once I leave with Ketkam, so what's the plan? I didn't know we were being removed and there was going to be pilots on the ship.
I thought we're going to pilot this thing.
Yeah, so at this point, Jehaat's going to get on his personal comm to communicate with his bomb team. And he says, gentlemen, there was obviously a slight change in plans. Two of our brave Imperial pilots volunteered to get us out of here, which leaves all of you free to continue your duties. So just continue checking for bombs and finishing, making sure the ship is safe.
Okay.
And once you're done with that, report up here to me at the bridge.
All right, so the ship has cleared the space station and is kind of moving into position a little bit further out.
Necro would like to go to the computer room where the communication equipment is, and
Yep.
he would like to get on the system to block comms from leaving the ship, like personal comms. Basically, keep the people. Basically, he wants to focus the bridge area. He wants to prevent any Imperial frequencies from leaving the bridge area. So they can communicate with each other in the bridge area, but nothing else will get out. So that's what he's wanting to do inside the communications area on the ship.
All right. So yeah, you get in there, and have you already created a backdoor in that system?
Not this system. No, this is a new one. I've created a backdoor on the system that has the hidden code to take over the ship.
All right. Yeah. So you get onto this equipment, and you would have to gain access.
Can I use one of the 6 Imperial access username passwords that Imperials had used on a previous adventure that I got from my spyware from their code senders?
Yes, I'll say that as long as they're not dead or something like that, then that would. And you said that they had a certain access level.
Yeah, I don't think they allow stormtroopers to communicate with Star Destroyers, so these people would have to be at least at a minimum an officer.
Okay, yeah. So it comes to the equipment comes on, and you can see the name of username readout, like Captain Donovan or something like that.
Okay, and so I'll make a note that one of the 6 is being used.
Are these sentry droids together, or are they in separate levels?
2 of them are patrolling, the other ones are in storage.
So, are they patrolling in the same level, or are they on separate levels?
They're currently on separate levels. One's on the top level, one's on the bottom.
Okay, so where the ones in storage, are they deactivated and they have to be reactivated remotely, or how do they activate it?
If you're asking Necro, he says you can flip them on manually, or if one of the patrolling ones goes down, they all come on. They all come on active mode and search and destroy.
So if you take out one, the other ones go in now.
Yeah, if you take out one of the patrolling ones, they all come online in search and destroy mode.
Could we hack into the ones that are deactivated at the moment to make sure they stay permanently deactivated?
So apparently the 2 that are patrolling right now are not the ones that we are not seen as authorized users to, but the 4 that are not active at the moment do see us as administrators. So we are high-ranking Imperials.
So my question is, so if we were to take out these 2, do you have the authority to tell them to stand down, that they were misbehaving or something like that?
They will not see our crew as the threat, but
Perfect. So I want to have my ion mine fly into one of them to take it out.
But these droids will not shoot at Imperials, though. I have not changed their programming. I just added it so they see us as friendly.
Yeah, but the 2 that are patrolling don't have that function.
Yeah, that's true.
So I want to take one out.
Okay. Then that's... Okay, so he wants to do that. I want to basically jam the signals and the Imperial signals inside the bridge area.
All right. So that would be you gained access using Imperial credentials.
Yeah, I used one of my 6, so I'll just mark that off as 5 left.
And I don't think you'd need any further, I guess, to know what you're doing and kind of activate that function in an unknown system. Yeah, probably like a 2 purple.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I moved Ketkam in there instead of Necro. All right. So under jamming, I think each success adds a setback. If we're going off the jam systems from the ship maneuvers chart.
Success adds a setback to their attempts to overcome it.
Yeah. It's under ship actions or maneuvers.
Let me see. All right, so I was on the stealth charts. Ship actions. Here we are.
I think that'll be on the additional ship actions.
Ah,
Yes, jamming. Okay, so yeah, it's an average computer check, and they can try to do an average to get through it, but each success. Let's see. Oh, the difficulty increases by 1 for each additional 2 successes, and the jamming affects an additional target for each advantage that's spent. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a 5 purple from they get past it, and then I guess I can just target those 2 Imperials inside there specifically with the advantage.
all right. So yeah, they'd have to do a 5 purple computers check.
Yep, 5 purple computers to get past the jamming.
Would the communications be on the console right there with the pilots, or would that be something that Jehaat is kind of, in theory, helping them with?
Yeah, you could like sit in as the ship communication officer on the bridge, I guess. They're on pilot stations, and I guess they have their own comms.
Gentlemen, it looks like our communications are being jammed.
Necro will leave this room now that he's done what he needs to do.
See if you can have your men check the comms room. He says to you, Jehaat.
Yeah.
They would have to be. They would likely have to be doing it from on board the ship.
And so yeah, he'll get on his comms and say, "Gentlemen, pause what you're doing, and head towards the communications room. We may have rebel saboteurs aboard. Trooper, whatever your name is, we'll have you do that as well." And he's not actually giving you guys actual instructions. He's just kind of blabbering into the comms, but he'll pretend to tell Ketkam to stun those technicians until we have time to deal with them, and that'll free you up to secure the ship.
So did Angiver ever attack? I don't remember seeing him attacking.
That's what I'm going to do. I was waiting to do that.
So he wants to attack one of the sentry droids that are actively patrolling with a flying mine. Now, these 2 sentry droids do not see you as a friendly. If you attack them, then they will see you as a hostile.
Okay, that's why I'm having Viper do that, so he could roll stealth to sneak in behind him, and then apply the mine to the droid, and then roll for the damage.
Do you have the token on the ship?
Mine or for Viper?
For Viper.
Yeah, he's right there down there with the Angiver. They both moved to the bottom to where the one's patrolling in the near the laboratories and the beds and stuff.
Oh, so you guys are on the top level. Okay.
And then I have my RA-7 droids positioned so they kind of like intercept the other security droid. So if he hears the explosion or somebody tries to get it, they like, oops, sorry, and try to slowly get off his way.
Okay, he wants his droids to act like incompetent imbeciles and bumble around and block the droid until it gets sped up and smashes its head into the wall.
Down, exactly.
All right, so yeah, roll your remote control mine.
Okay. Okay, so I mean, it's a computer's check or piloting check to control the mine, so it's up to you if you want me to roll for that, and then after that I'll roll for the damage, unless you want me to stealth first.
Range. If it's range, you always do the range band difficulty. That's the easiest.
Oh, so it would be a range band difficulty even if it's being remotely piloted?
I would think. I mean, I don't, it's up to you. I mean, if he's gonna reach him on.
Have the droid sneak by, and then release the mine, and then Angar's going to pilot it to explode.
So very covered back there would be like probably long range.
I mean, if the mine is able to blow up on a single action, I would imagine it's traveling super fast.
It can travel as fast as a person walking, if I remember correctly, if you're using that modification.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well then, all right.
So it can travel 30 feet per round.
So I'll have Viper drop it off, and then move out, and then yeah.
Okay, because you guys are on the opposite ends from what I see on the map.
All right. So I guess you would be probably if Angiver's piloting it, he's going to have to roll like a stealth to have the droid not see this flying mine coming at him.
I'm having Viper drop it nearby, so then Angiver can pilot towards him, so he can see the mine coming if he wants.
So does the mine only attack adjacent people, or? I mean, normally a mine is a ranged light, and if that's the case, then it's a ranged weapon, so it would do the range band difficulty. If it's ranged, unless it specifically says that it only attacks stuff that's engaged, and if it's or adjacent to it, if it's only attacks stuff that's adjacent or engaged to it.
The mine is engaged, is what it is.
Okay, then I would suggest 2 purple then, because that's what all melee and brawls are, which require you to be engaged.
Let me try to roll the stealth in there where the droid doesn't see it with Viper first.
Well, what I'm saying is that if you're piloting it, you have to roll the stealth. Because he's potentially going to see this thing coming since he's on patrol and there's a floating mine coming at his face.
That's what I was going to try to sneak in where it's not going to, so I'm watching its patrol's pattern, and wherever it's going to go, I'm going to have Viper on standby, sneak there, drop the mine.
Are you just gonna plant the mine and detonate it when he walks over it, or are you gonna fly it at him?
I'm gonna plant it where it's close. That way he's not gonna see it coming, and then I feel like he opens up a door or something like that, and boom, it blows up on him.
Okay. So yeah, you're still gonna have to conceal the mine.
Okay. So I'll have Viper do that. So what do I need to roll for him?
5 red. And since there is a bomb threat, I'm gonna say you have a 2 setback as well.
5 red or 3 red?
Did I say 3 red?
You said 5.
You said 5 red this time.
Oh my god, what's wrong with my brain? 3 red. Why do I keep saying 3 instead of 5?
You keep saying 5, and you keep saying 5 instead of 3.
Oh my god.
I'll have a damage.
All right. So so let me see, what would that even be? So that would be an attack roll to spare. Or no, that's a stealth.
Stealth. So I guess he heard the door close, so he's going to go investigate the door now.
Let me see what I got with stealth. I know there was the one that can mess with your initiative. That was a successful roll on a stealth check. Why am I not finding this? Stealth.
I put both charts on the stealth. You just scroll down for the skill, and then the newer one is towards the top.
Yeah, and the newer one has a couple options for a successful check, false positive.
What's Wa doing while all this is going on?
Waiting for my cue to start firing.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm doing. I said, okay, so we're going after the first one down here at the top, deck 3.
Say that again.
So I'll say I have Viper in position to take out the first one on deck 3.
So Viper's going to take out one of the patrolling droids, which is not one of the ones that recognizes us.
All right. So yeah, I'll say that Viper gets an automatic failure to his initiative roll, like what happened to Wa.
Okay.
So yeah, the droid moves into position where the mine is, and you're able to detonate it against 2 purple.
Can I do with that advantage? Can I get him to move away in time before the droid gets there and sees him?
You can give yourself boost for your
And boost
next.
myself with this roll.
Yeah.
How many boost can I give myself with that?
So I think we rolled that it's cheesy if you keep doing one for the next person. So I think we said you could do one to give one to the next person, then you can do as many as you have advantage for to give yourself. Do the 2 advantages to give yourself as many boosts as you have enough advantages for.
So every 2 advantage, I can give myself 1 boost in, right?
Yep.
Not including the first one, right?
Yeah.
So 6 advantage. I've got 6 boost in for this explosion.
Okay, does it do enough damage?
It's an ion mine, by the way.
All right, and I think this thing. How much damage is that?
13 regulars. So let me add up the successes.
Okay, so if it does some damage, you can do a bunch of crits.
19 damage normally. Oh, well, it's 19 damage for that roll, plus all that advantage in crits.
So,
Right. So it has a soak of 6. So it has 1 wound left.
now how many times can you modify the crit by expending all those advantages and the triumphs?
Exactly.
How much can you get it up boosted?
It's an ion, so it's going against its strain.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Depends on if it's ion damage or the ion effect. Ion effect goes to.
Yeah, ion affects strain on droids.
Does it bypass soak or no?
No, it does. It soaks as normal.
Okay.
So it goes towards its soak instead of its wounds.
So it has no strain. So would it?
Oh, then that goes to
Then it would
wounds.
go to
It goes to wounds. But instead of being damaged, the droid's fully intact. So if we want to scavenge it later, yeah, it's not going to be blown up in a bunch of pieces. It'll be a fully intact, collapsed droid.
So without any other effects here, it has 1 wound away from its threshold.
So how many advantages?
Critted it 1, 2. I can crit at 2. 2 to crit. So 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 crits.
So you can add 60 to the crit modifier. If it reaches 150, it's instant dead.
So you can upgrade the crit 5 times.
Yeah.
It's at you're critting with one of them, then you're adding 50.
Okay, so it's 50. So you do a crit modifier of 50 for the.
Can you
droid.
voluntarily lower a crit?
I don't think so.
I think there's talents that.
Yeah, I think there's talents that can tell you that. Or
Like there's jury rig that will let you lower a crit rating by 1. There's also attachments and stuff.
No. Sorry, I mean voluntarily lower the critical roll or something like that to make this be the one that deals a single strain or some shit like that.
There are talents that let you do that, like pick a
There's
crit.
talents that let you pick what kind of crit you want to do off the crit table.
And there's some that also reduce the severity of the crit too. There's some talents that do that.
Yeah, like I think there might be an assassin ability.
My droid has lethal blows. I don't know if that counts.
Yes, it does. So what's your lethal blows set to?
It has 2. I think 2 for lethal.
So you add 70 to the crit roll.
All right. So 70. Is that what you're using all your advantage for? The upgrading the crit?
I can take it out in 1 shot. That's all I wanted.
Yeah, he wants to take it out in 1 shot. So 70 to the modified crit roll.
All right.
It's got lethal blows 3. My bad.
Oh, never mind. It's 80. 80 to the modified crit roll. He has lethal blows 3.
So 125.
It was 125. Let me see.
Not senseless. The target is staggered for the remainder of the encounter.
Just walk up and just smack it with the butt of its rifle.
Stagger just gives a setback to everything it does. That's all.
No. A staggered character cannot perform actions.
Oh! Never mind.
Just not with one shot.
Effectively.
All it can do is try and get away from you, but it can't perform any actions.
Well, wait, isn't moving an action itself like a move action?
No, it loses actions, not maneuvers. So it can still perform maneuvers, but no action. It can't.
It can't alert people.
But you probably do sense that explosion even from the bridge.
Oh.
Well, you already said rebels are aboard the ship. They're trying to hack it.
So another explosion happens while you guys are moving into position, and your men report back that the comms deck is clear.
Hey, Wah, do you and Ketkam, you guys want to take out the pilots?
Do you want me to go ahead and shoot the droid to take it out, or are we just going to say it's out?
You can take that one out. I'd say it's probably not really gonna be an issue because it can't do anything. But the others activate.
So maybe we should. Anyone got any objections? So Necro's talking to people on our comm. So should we go ahead and take? So Wah and Ketkam, you guys want to take out the two Imperials on the bridge?
Wall holds up his big gun, like, sure, why not?
Are we in a situation where, like, we're relative? How are we doing space wise? Are we getting clear of the station? Are we in a situation where we can?
Yeah, they've maneuvered into position away from the station, and you heard some chatter on the radio about another shuttle being inbound with explosive ordnance disposal team.
So
Okay.
Get prepared. I'll open the door.
Yeah, and if you guys are saying that, I'll get on the comms and say, good job, Trooper. Now that those technicians are stunned and we don't have to worry about them, return to the bridge. And with that explosion...
I need to roll initiative.
No, not yet. Two of you guys get a failure, I believe.
Yeah,
Wait, don't I, like, go last on something?
You just get an automatic failure on your roll, so you add one failure.
Okay.
And that would be Wah and Angiver that get.
So this will be a vigilance? No,
That's fine, not Angiver.
prepared. It's going
I
to be
think you and your droid are just going to use this. Don't you and your droid use the same initiative?
Yes. So it applies to Angiver. They just go on the same turn. They go on the same turn. Okay, so is there a failure? Oh yeah, F. So just
1F.
yeah,
Just
put
add
one,
the 1F
yeah,
to the
just put one
modifier.
F to your modifier, and that will put the failure in it. We are rolling cool because we planned this.
Didn't change much. Did
Cool-
not change much.
Cool under combat though.
I did.
Okay.
Initiative, cool.
Oh crap! Oh, I always forget to clear out my dice pool. So it's actually just one success.
Taking away the purple doesn't take away much.
Yeah, it didn't do anything.
Seems wrong. Oh, there were 2 boosts still on there. So I need to remove a success and 2 advantage from that.
That 2-2, I'll go ahead and make that 4-2.
Let's see. There are a bunch of droids that aren't going to be hostile towards you activating, so I'm not going to roll initiatives for them. They won't really affect the fight in a significant way.
Unless we tell them that those people piloting the ship are trying to steal it.
That won't work.
Yeah, that probably won't work.
That's like trying to tell one of your droids to attack its master.
And since it is its master, it would have been like, okay,
Well,
I'm taking the ship.
It
Cool.
could, but you'd have to do a leadership check. I'm assuming to make it go against whenever it's in dealt.
Okay.
Okay, and Guyver, I'm gonna need you to get ready to swap out that communications. We're gonna charge the bridge.
What I gotta roll?
Well, you got to get to the bridge. You're way over on the second deck for some reason. There's third, the top deck.
Yeah, I was taking out that droid.
All right, so is this in Z to A order?
Yeah, I put it in, what is it, descending order, the initiative?
Yeah. Okay, does someone want to...
Well, I need to take out this droid before we do anything. It's only got 1 hit point.
Okay, that sounds like a good use of the PC.
I'll have the Viper walk up, just shoot it, and I'll go ahead now. I'll tell it not to kill it, not to like permanently damage it, just do enough. So that way, any advantage I can just use for something else.
The droid that's already staggered or whatever?
Yeah.
One down to 1 hit point.
The one has sparks kind of shooting out of its neck.
I didn't even roll initiative for that droid. I'm assuming it's not going to contribute in a meaningful way. All right, so that's the first initiative slot for PCs?
Yeah, so go do it. Knock that droid out.
Real quick, which droid is it that you're knocking out first?
It's
the closest?
The one on the
that
top
made
deck.
the bomb, that somehow survived the bomb.
Yeah, the one on the third floor with the...
Oh, well, okay.
Okay, are you shooting it?
Crit.
There, he took it out. Okay, so that makes it an NPC slot.
All right, so first NPC slot.
Let's go heading towards the bridge.
Actually, I probably wouldn't even try and move through these guys. It would take the lift. So this security droid takes the lift and sees a stormtrooper and some guy. And who's this over here? Necro. So it sees the three of you, and it's in search and destroy mode. It probably wouldn't shoot the stormtrooper, but it might shoot Wa or Necro.
Would it attack people that were not authorized to be on the ship that have a weapon? Because Necro has no weapon, and he has his ID card around his neck.
All right, so yeah, it's probably going to shoot at Wa.
No, don't shoot at me. I have like no soak whatsoever.
That makes all of us.
And so yeah, it's going to.
This is not Urdak. Please don't bully him.
Do you have any range or anything?
No.
Range defense.
No.
All right, so it's going to point its light repeating blaster.
Can we say? Here's a question. If it came up in the middle of that lift.
Oh, we see like the light, like an elevator.
If it's if he's in the either of the two squares on the right, then he would be out of engaged range. But if he's in either of the two on the left, he would be engaged and wouldn't be able to use a gunnery weapon.
It's not gunnery.
Oh,
it's range.
Well, then he'd still be at like a couple setback. I'm trying to remember how many it is.
It increases the if it's a heavy, it increases the difficulty by 2. If it's a light, it increases it by 1, unless you have the attachments that lower the increase.
So can we?
So I'll say you can either spend Destiny, or you can roll a Force die and let the Force decide.
We got plenty of light side points. I would say I'm okay with using one for that.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll move him to where he's engaged, and he is going to roll at a 4 purple difficulty.
Spin the light side. Wow.
Do we want to?
Yeah, if you want to not probably get hurt as much.
Okay, yeah. I'll upgrade it again.
It's just 1.
Oh, we both hit it. Sorry.
All right. He doesn't do damage to you, so that's good.
Whoa.
I don't know what like a failure, but a failure, but a triumph. I guess he could maybe disable the control panel for the door.
Oh yeah,
So
he
so
just shoots
Jehaat
wrong
is
and
alone on the Jehaat is alone on the bridge, and you guys are kind of stuck out here until you can fix the door.
what's the range of blast again?
Adjacent.
Yeah, Jason. And are there certain things that have a further blast range?
I think so.
I seem to remember there may be certain blast weapons that can.
I think it's a skill you have to have.
It would say in the description, but the actual description for blast, I believe, is adjacent to this.
So is kick cam adjacent? Does diagonal count as adjacent?
Kick cam is adjacent.
Yes.
Okay.
You don't have to trigger blast though.
I don't have
think.
to, but I was just wondering, just to make sure. Because I have a lot of blast.
So yeah, he misses you, but his shot hits the panel for the blast doors on the bridge.
Okay.
So does that shut the blast doors?
What's that?
Does
that-
it lock the blast door shut?
Well, I don't think the doors were locked. They were on the open and shut mode. That's what I was asking. Did him shooting it actually shut the blast doors?
Yeah, they're shut and disabled currently.
Okay. So he locked the blast doors with the shot, like in the movies.
Yep.
And that was his turn, so we're on the next PC slot. I should actually move the initiative down.
Okay. Would it be okay if my character went to go at this thing to try to take it out fast?
If you want, go ahead.
Go for it.
Okay, so my character steps back and shoots him with the big gun. Let me make sure my dice pool is clear. Oh, yeah, 1 purple since it's short range. Whoa, short range.
Is this the one that disintegrates?
Oh, yeah, it's the good one. Okay, so it has breach 2, so it's probably bypassing all the armor it has.
Yes.
Okay, and I will...
14 damage.
Yep.
That takes it out just flat out. Takes all of its wounds away.
Vision 6.
Its head falls down as his body collapses. The head starts spitting on the floor. Cool. Necro's like, when you get a chance, bring the droid over to me and I can repair the door with its parts.
Okay.
I can repair the panel with its parts.
Ah, that was just magnificent.
All right, so PC slots. Who's next? We did one PC.
I think it's an NPC slot again. And what NPCs do we have left? We've got the guys on the bridge. Yeah. So it sounds like they're attacking just outside the bridge.
So
They get up and the TIE Ace tries to move toward the door and open it, and that does not open. Door's jammed.
That's good for us, potentially.
And he steps back a little bit and aims at the door. And the other pilot on the last NPC slot moves to this console and standing behind it also aims at the door.
Who's flying the ship?
I assume we're just flying in a straight line.
Yeah, they probably check to make sure there's no asteroids or planets in the way.
yeah, I'm sure it might take a couple rounds of the plane just drifting before it crashes into something.
Yeah. Do we know how far out that shuttle is at this point?
Does blocking comms block incoming communication? You might not have any way of knowing it.
It's just for those Imperials. Those Imperials.
Yeah,
I selected them as my targets with the advantages, so it's just those two.
So no.
But So you might hear some chatter that they're inbound a few minutes out.
Okay. So on my turn here, I would like to roll a
And they're
influence.
trying to get a response from the ship. Also, they're Gozanti-class. Please respond. What is your status?
Static.
Ooh, what does that do?
So what I'm trying to do here, and I think I'll actually go ahead and take the I'll take the dark side, the conflict and stuff here. But I want to use my influence power here to strain the mind of one of the I guess the co-pilot. We'll start with the co-pilot, the guy closer to the door, and strain the mind. So I'm going to cause 2 strain to him here as I tell him, don't panic. I'm sure that we're completely safe on the bridge here, but I'm using the force to cause him to be stressed out and panicked. So 2 strain to him.
So, did you need to use a light side and take conflict then to flip him? Or does it use
Yes. Well, let me double check how the wording on that is done, because that one has a special rule.
I think when you use black side, you have to take strain to flip it to a light side.
Let me double check the ruling on that, and I will take whatever effects and flip whatever as needed.
All right. So, is that it for Jehaat?
Yeah.
All right. Next PC. And at this point, it's the last 2 PCs in a row. So you can figure out who wants to do what.
Ketkam, hand me the droid. Either like bring me the droid head or drag the droid over to me, and I can repair this door console.
Okay, I will go ahead and drag the droid over to you then. And the door is still closed, correct?
Yes, but I'm gonna fix a console so we can open it when you're ready to have it open.
Okay, all right, perfect. All right, yep, I will drag the droid over to you then.
Okay. Then I will use my specialization that lets me redundant systems. So I will make an easy mechanics check, and it basically lets me use to harvest components from one functioning device to repair a broken one with the never mind. I guess I don't need the droid. Let's see. Okay, I'll use my data pad. So I'll use my data pad to repair it. It says the droid is not functioning since we destroyed it. So my bad. Sorry about having you drag the droid. You can do a different action if you want.
That's okay. We'll still drag it over to you regardless.
Okay, cool. So I will use my data pad to harvest components from without breaking it. So it's 1 purple to see if I can do that. All right. Using my I'll take 2 strain to get out my my compact workbench. Actually, yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Are you increasing the difficulty? Oh, that was Jehaat. Okay. Did you wanna?
I'll upgrade that.
Okay, so it's 1 red.
Yeah.
Okay, so flip. There we go. Okay, so I was able to successfully take components from my using my redundant systems. I'm able to Take the redundant system action, make an easy mechanics check to harvest components from a functioning device to repair a broken one without breaking the first device. So I have fixed the door. I have fixed the console on the door so it can be used to open.
As a can I partly retcon to have said something over the comms on my turn?
Yeah.
I would say over the comms, if you come across any of these rebels, make sure you stun them. All right, if you are able to. We want to take them alive. Get answers out of them.
Can I use? I would like to pass Wah and Ketkam and my character and the next PC a boost.
All right.
Okay, that's my turn.
And as you guys are doing that, you hear over the comms, Jehaat. Commander Reaver, please respond. This is T-17 and T-25. We are docking with the TIE fighter ports and bringing some additional support.
Necro's like, crap, I'm going to have to disable the lift. Is everyone where they need to be? I'm going to disable the lift on when I get a chance.
No, I'm still deck 3.
Are we able to potentially lock those and not let them in? Or
Yeah, they'd have to beat my computer check to bypass the
here's a
lock.
question. Could my guys have gotten to the gunnery stations yet? Nah, I don't think I ever specifically told them to do that. So, sorry, disregard that.
Let's see. I'm going to roll a couple more initiatives for NPCs.
Real quick too, I remember that I have a Imperial comms thing. Would I be able to come over the comms and tell them negative that I am on board and I have things handled?
Oh, that's true. Ketkam does have an Imperial comm she got from the station.
Could also maybe tell them to hold off that bay currently has 2 of the rebels moving through it or something like that, to just wait just a moment. You can catch them from behind or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely tell them to hold off and wait. And I'll actually, what I'll say is, I will say, no need to board at the moment. In foot pursuit right now, and heading towards that depot's location. Probably going to try to escape from there. You can catch them on the way out.
So, are you going to take the first initiative slot to do that?
I can do that, absolutely, yeah.
All right. So roll. It's not. I think it's 2 purple. Roll a 2 purple deception. And since you're on Imperial comms, I will give you a boost.
Don't forget the boost I gave you.
And don't forget, you can use some Destiny to upgrade it if you want.
Necro gave you a boost too from his roll, so you got to.
Don't we have like 1 light side left?
I used 1. What do you got left?
Yeah, don't worry about don't use a light side. You are within close range of me. If we need to, we can re-roll.
Got 2 light sides left.
But you get okay. Actually, I think you meant to do this, and here, try it again. I will use a Destiny point to activate my signature ability that allows us to re-roll up to 4 dice. So let me spin that. Is that okay with you, Ketkam?
Works for me.
All right, using a light side. Okay, so we want to re-roll the 2 failure one, we want to upgrade the green dice that just has a
But you just re-rolled. You didn't say anything about upgrading.
yeah, well, I got it fully upgraded, so I can upgrade one dice, I can downgrade a dice, I can remove setback equal to, I can modify up to 4 dice. All right, so, and it requires 1 destiny point. So we'll re-roll the 2 failure purple dice. We'll upgrade the green dice when we re-roll it to a yellow, the one that only has 1 advantage on it. So that should increase our odds. So let me do that. It's easier to do it this way. Okay. Aha! We are successful. So that is a total of 2 successes and 1 advantage.
4
Listen,
successes.
why aren't they rolling their blues again?
Yeah, 4 successes.
No, I get to modify the dice. It's my special. It's my unmatched calibration signature ability.
Yeah, so you have 4 successes actually and 1 advantage.
Because you took 2 of the.
Oh, that's right.
fails.
Yep, that's right. 4 successes,
Well
1
done.
advantage. Nice. You did good, Kit Cam.
Thank you.
You were on the wrong channel.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, hold on. There you go.
All right. So they are willing to wait. They're willing to wait until the last NPC slots to move those reinforcements in. So you have a few PC slots before they do that. No, you have one more PC slot, I should say.
So should I go ahead and disable the lift?
I'm still on deck 3, so if you don't need me up in the thing, yeah, you can go ahead and do that. Otherwise, wait.
So tell you what, here's the password that you have to enter in order to get access to the lift. Otherwise, you'll have to beat my computer skills. Okay, does that work? So I'll take the next PC slot when it's ready for the next PC slot, and I'll do that.
I guess because Viper can be there, right? And Viper's already on the lift. I just didn't send him up yet.
Okay.
Unless you need him, because he's already on the lift.
Yeah, you can bring him on our level. So whose turn is it?
So let's see. This TIE pilot is going to double aim at the door. And that's his turn. Next is, that was what? So now we're on a PC slot. I think that was going to be Necro. What was Necro doing?
Okay,
Disabling?
so Necro has already fixed. So
when did Viper get on this level?
He was on the lift, so I was just saying if he can just automatically go up there or not.
it'll be on your turn.
Okay.
All right. So, okay, this will work. So you guys can open the door when you're ready. I'm gonna go ahead and disable the lift, and you have to use a special passcode to get onto it, and the passcode is Imperials smell of Jamba juice or Jawa juice. There we go. That's the passcode, and I'm going to roll my computers to. Well, I guess I gotta get access to it, but yeah.
I would have said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So I'm at the computer. I got my cybernetic cyberjack implant to access the computer. What do I need to roll to access the lift controls?
Let's see. So you said you have user access to lock down the lifts. I'll say like 3 purple.
I was thinking it probably doesn't have any security, but 3 purple. Okay.
Well, I don't think 3 purple is actually anything to him. Like it's like you remove purple pretty easily.
Okay, so I will take 2 strain and use. I'll use I'll take 4 strain. Use Master Slicer in the Cyberjack to lower it to 1 purple. So I'll add 4 strain.
Oh, actually, No one has locked him out, so I'm gonna roll initiative for the counter slicer.
Is the slicer on the lift controls?
No, I'm just rolling him into initiative for the system.
Okay.
He's not resisting you specifically. He's just coming into the encounter.
So, since this is a lift, is it safe to say there's probably no security systems on a lift controls that you push the button, it goes up, goes down?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably just a non-roll.
All right, so this would be to program it to lock out anyone and require authentication to use it. So basically, it's locked everyone out of the system unless they say Imperial smell of Jamba juice, unless they type that in as the password or say it or however they use it. But that's the passphrase. Otherwise, they have to beat my computer to override.
Yeah, that works. Like basically a code cylinder wouldn't work. You'd have to either know your access passphrase or
they'd have to beat my computer skill. Okay. And then I'll use the advantages. I will gain back how many advantages? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I will take 6 strain and do a.
Whoops. That was wrong.
Do a cover tracks. All right, that's my turn. So only we have access to the lifts now. All right, and that concludes my turn.
All right. And there is that. So the slicer is going to take a turn. And they are going to attempt to come in and disable the ship's systems. So they're going to start trying to shut things down.
Which system are they starting on first?
Well, they have access, so I don't know if they actually need to roll for anything. They're just going to shut down the hyperdrive and active.
The hyperdrive
I'll say that actually.
on.
The hyperdrive, what?
No one's activated the hyperdrive.
Yeah, but they're going to have to actually they're going to have to go past the slicer to bring it online now.
Okay, so maybe they're setting up a password encrypted thing, so you have to bypass them to get the hyperdrive turned on, something like that.
Yeah, basically the to get the hyperdrive on, you're going to have to remove them from the system or take their access away.
Okay.
Deactivate it manually too.
If someone's physically at the hyperdrive, maybe.
Okay.
Also, during this whole time, can Ketkam be actively listening to the Imperial comms? So if there's any useful information that might be gleaned from listening in?
Yeah. So let's see. Next is, I think all the NPCs are kind of going back to back right now. So this guy's going to also double aim at the door. The rest of the NPCs are going to go. So we've got a couple guys coming in through the hatches. But you did disable one TIE fighter and 2 of the pilots are here. So instead of 4 TIE fighters docking, there were only 2.
Okay, what's next?
So that is the remainder of the NPCs. We are at the last 3 PCs of the round.
How long does it take to don armor?
To don armor, I'm not sure.
I'm assuming it's just a
Minutes. Well, it depends on what it is. Is it like segmented armor, hard armor? Is it clothing, heavy clothing? Augmented takes a couple minutes. The ones that's in all these, is it the power armored augmented one? Because augmented is like stormtrooper. That takes minutes. I mean, well, that's lemon armor, but it's even more sophisticated than all the pieces the stormtrooper armor comes in.
Okay, so I'll run up to the lift and have Viper assist me get into my armor.
Yeah, it'll take more than one round, I think, though.
All right, so yeah, that would take probably both of your actions for this round, and probably at least the next. Where is the armor? Who was carrying it? And so did you just have it staged up here somehow, or?
So it was snuck past security by Viper and then given to Guyver.
So were you
But
carrying
it
this
probably
heavy
would have had
duffel
to
bag?
be somewhere that the patrols wouldn't have seen it. Like, this is kind of out in the open.
So Viper's had it, and he gives it to Guyver. We're down there by ourselves right now.
Okay, he's capable of carrying a suit of augmented armor?
Yes.
Okay.
Pack.
All right. So yeah, you guys will be occupied with that for this round and probably the next. And I think we have, 2 more PCs to go. So probably Wa and Ketkam. No, Ketkam took the first. So Wa and Necro?
Necro went.
No. Wa and Jehaat, I guess.
Yeah. So
Okay,
Yeah, I
so
guess Jehaat has an answer.
the door is fixed now, right?
yes, if you walk to
Yes.
the door and press the button, you can open it.
And there are these guys that are. Okay.
Well, you have no idea. The door.
Oh
is
yeah,
shut.
I have no idea. So
You know there's 2 stormtrooper. Well, you know there's 2 TIE Imperials in there, and that's all you know. You don't know where they're positioned or anything else. You can
Was
always.
that the ship that they docked with us? Was just 2 ties? I thought they were talking about like a shuttle or something.
There is a shuttle en route, but they said it was a couple minutes out. When they couldn't gain any kind of contact with the ship, they sent a couple of security droids kind of attached to ties.
Okay. And Ketkam did succeed on her whenever they were contacting someone on the ship on the Imperial channels, and she convinced them.
Yes, they delayed boarding till the last possible NPC slots of the round.
Okay.
okay, so
So that gave you guys time to disable the lift.
Are you going to open the door and
Care-
shoot someone?
I guess I'll open the door with my blaster carbine out.
Yeah, you never put it away, so. All right.
What do you mean?
You shot the droid last round, so you still had it out. So you don't have to use a maneuver to get it out.
It's not full firing though. What does that mean?
Oh no, I used my ion disruptor last round, so now I'm pulling out my blaster carbine.
Oh, okay. So you're using a maneuver to do that. Okay. Are you
Yeah.
Are you dropping the other weapon on the ground so you don't have to spend a maneuver to put it away?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you can take 2 strain to open the door if you want and still be able to shoot, or you can just.
Now, can I hold my action to shoot when Ketkam opens it?
Yeah, you can aim if you want. You can use your maneuver to aim. Or,
But I already used my maneuver to get it out.
well, but you can if you're not going to do another action, you can convert your action to a maneuver and not take any strain.
Okay, so yeah, I'll do a maneuver to aim.
Okay, so you'll get a boost dice. So remember that you'll get a boost dice when you actually shoot at someone.
Okay. Sweet.
All right, so we have Jehaat, I think, is the last PC. I haven't moved the initiative forward in a while. Did I skip anyone other than Jehaat this round?
I think Jehaat's the last one, right?
Yeah,
Right.
put on my armor.
Yeah, Ketkam communicated with the stormtroopers on her turn, so should be Jehaat.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, someone was going weird with my headset. Sorry about that. Okay, so Jehaat's going to gonna do a
They do both seem to be focusing on the door.
Yeah, can I try and do something to like try and convince? Let me do it. I don't know if it'd just be straight deception to try and convince them. Hey, it sounds like things have been handled out there. I can keep covering the door if you guys want to return to making sure we don't run into anything.
All right. So you're trying to convince them to go back to their stations?
Right.
Yeah, you can try and roll a. I'd say you probably. So like you could roll a deception against one of them.
Okay.
Since we're kind of in a more tight squeeze of time frames.
Okay. What do I get off of? What do I get off of triumphs on there?
Hey, what's going on?
Okay, I'll go ahead and spin that on.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I guess I'll do the person of respect. That sounds fun. So just like as this has been going on, like a lot of these Imperials start to think of, both the ones here and off the station as well, just due to my expert handling of this. They start to think better of me.
Your fake identity might get put in for an award,
right? I'm gonna get a star on the wall at the ISB headquarters or something.
Employee of the month.
Maybe they'll think he was captured and he wasn't a part of this plan.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's definitely part of my plan. I'll spend the light side point to further strain one of the targets. That guy already got. I'm gonna keep adding some strain to him though with that.
All right.
And okay, so I actually haven't done much in combat with my minions. I have to use a maneuver to command them.
Yeah,
how that works?
They get a no. Okay, so they act as a unit on your turn. So you do your turn or they do their stuff, but you do all your maneuvers and actions, and then they do their maneuver and action.
Got it. Okay. Okay. And then I think that's it for me. I'll decide what I'm going to spend those advantage on. And then for their turn, I'm going to have them start setting up the. So have those guys entered the ship yet?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if you would know. Yeah, you probably heard the KX07 and KX35 entering ship.
Well, wouldn't they have to dock? They have to fly. They'd have to dock. They'd have to open the hatch. They'd have to get out of the hatch. Are they already on the? Did they already get through the hatch and on the ship already after flying to it and all that stuff?
Yeah, they docked at the end of last round, and then was it the end of? Yeah, the end of last round they docked and said they were docking with security reinforcements.
I'm gonna have my guys have them be setting up that heavy repeating blaster. So they spend their turn. The three of them spend their action to have that set up.
All right. So you guys didn't have access to the armory.
Oh, it's all locked and everything. Never mind then. In that case,
You could have tried to gain access using the. No, that would take your turn. The leadership thing where you can have your
Yeah.
squad tactics.
In that case, I will have them get control. Get in on this gun down here on deck 1.
Do we have a token for them?
I don't think we ever made one.
Let's see.
Just use a human thug. That's fine. There we go.
All right, so that was the last PC turn of that round. We are in round 3. We have a PC slot, and I'm trying to find some tokens while I'm waiting for you to do your thing.
Okay. Yeah, most of the NPCs have tokens assigned to them if you want to just drag them off from the where the PCs are.
Just from the PC page. Yeah, I'll do that
Oh.
instead of.
Yeah, either
I'm
the
just going
PC,
to token page.
Okay.
Probably.
Oh, and I'm spending those last 3 advantage on 3 confidence, so I get a boost to my next related skill check. Or 3 boosts.
Necro recommends that the guys with guns open the door and blast them.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
There's a slicer. I'm pretty sure is trying to take over the. Probably going to be taking over the console if we got people boarding us. I got to kick him out of the system, if you know what I mean.
So does Ketkam want to open the door to start shooting?
Yes, Ketkam can go first and open the door and start shooting.
So
I'm guessing since
spinning
they
a
all
maneuver to
aim
open
as
it?
well, we're all going to be shooting at each other.
Yeah, so you open the door, right? And so you see the 2 TIE pilots with their guns aiming at the door that's no longer there. So I guess they're aiming at you guys.
Yep.
With my deception, can we say that second pilot has lost his aim?
Did you deceived one of them, right? So one of them actually would have. Well, he didn't have a chance to move yet, but he was getting ready to move back.
Right,
Which one
so
were you
that's
deceiving?
probably the one closer there next to me.
Okay, yeah. So he might have lowered his aim.
They're like, "Hey, get back! We, back up. We got this." Or something.
Okay, so that's within.
Do they trust Jehaat to be able to take
Okay.
since he's ISB?
Probably.
Okay, it's Kit Cam's turn. Kit Cam should be the one talking.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Okay, I'm going to start shooting. So let's aim. We'll aim for the one that's closest, and I'm gonna have my rifle out.
I think I'll shoot the dude who's farthest.
And are you using? Are you doing stun damage like Jehaat
Yes,
hinted, or?
I'm doing the stun setting for my thing.
Stun setting can only be done at short range.
Yeah, that
This is
is.
very short range.
Okay.
I think
then-
everyone's
is-
short range
The
right
second
now.
dude is within 30 feet.
Okay,
Well,
cool.
he is 30 feet.
Okay, then you're good. It's Kit Cam's turn though.
I know, but I aimed to shoot when the thing opened. So I was holding my action.
You still need to use an action on your turn. Use your action, I think, to aim.
No,
to
no,
hit.
I used
Now,
my.
this isn't D&D. There's not a hold action. on this.
Oh,
So you got a boost for aiming. So you get a boost on your turn. That's what
I
that's
did.
what-
I
that's-
didn't know there was no hold action thing. Sorry.
It's all good. It's all because the PCs choose when they go, so it's not the same as D&D. So okay,
Okay, yeah. So ignore the blast I did.
so 14. Oh wait, that was well. My bad.
Yeah, that
My
was
bad.
me. So ignore that.
Okay, so I'm going to attempt to shoot the bad guy that's closest to me. That one.
All right.
And that's just one purple, right?
Correct.
Yeah, because you're close range.
18.
13.
You forgot to add the blue from your
Yeah, you do
accurate
have
one.
one. You do have one blue die.
Yeah, sorry.
And were you aiming as well?
I don't think she was.
No, I was not.
Okay. You didn't
Alright,
give people blue with that.
What is that?
I don't-
13 or 12 damage?
13.
All right, so 13 with a soak of 2, and he's already taken some strain/wounds. That actually that takes him down.
Nice.
8. Okay. I guess I will give the advantage that I have. So boost die to Wah if he's gonna go next.
Woo, I get
Yeah,
another
the-
boost.
I fixed your sheet, Kim. I should have the blue on there.
Next up
Yeah,
is
good.
the I guess the remaining TIE pilot's going to take aim, and attempt to shoot the. Actually, that's probably very confusing for him. It's a stormtrooper, but it just shot his commanding officer. So I'm gonna give him some setback, because that's probably like kind of a conflicting image for him. So I'm gonna give him 2 setback, and he's gonna take aim and shoot at Ketkam. Do you have range defense?
I do have range defense. It is 1, I do believe. Yeah, 1, and then let me check it. You can keep going, but let me check too, because I think I might have something that also increases it for certain situations. So let me check that.
Sidestep.
Right. I don't think it's gonna matter. He misses.
Did you mean to roll setback instead of? Oh yeah, you already did that. Never mind. Okay.
Why did it upgrade though? That shouldn't have happened. All right.
He must be furious. He's or kind of confused because he's got his own.
Yeah, even as a purple, it'd still be a failure.
Oh yeah, because I mean he'd still have at least one failure.
Yeah.
Was
All right.
unnerved.
Yeah, so the kind of between your armor and the kind of confusion of there being a stormtrooper shooting at him, he misses pretty badly.
Okay, all right, yeah, and I just checked too, so I actually don't have any other upped bonuses on this armor. I do on my other armor, but not this one.
And let's see. Next, I'm gonna say that the slicer will go next, and let's see, what would he do? He's gonna try and reactivate the lift, noticing that you deactivated it.
So, are you saying that this console here can control the lift?
I think that the systems are probably connected in a way that he could potentially.
So okay, let me get this. So this computer right here basically can control everything on the ship.
Probably not like the doors of people's personal quarters, but he probably could do like a ship lockdown or remove a ship lockdown.
Okay, I just wanted.
It is the command center, so that would make sense.
All right, cool. Sounds.
But
good
he still
me.
has to roll against your computers.
Yeah. So,
Right.
Yep.
Which is going to be a pretty tough one. So he doesn't get defensive slicing right now, because does he or doesn't he?
We've been
'Cause he's
rolling
going-
with it, so we've been rolling. We've been going with giving them defensive slicing, even if they weren't active, on the rolls that I made against the droid. So yes, we are using defensive slicing, even if you're not actively, because that's what we.
But I mean, defensive slicing wouldn't benefit him, right? His defensive slicing.
No, it's if I'm going against him, but he has to go against my defensive slicing too, plus improved defensive slicing. So it'd be 7 red. And then
7 red.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's probably not going to go well for him. Let's see what he's.
I believe in the dream.
He's going to try, and I guess I'll use some of this destiny to kind of give him a little bit better of a shot, and hope that the dice are with me. So use dark side, and then I got to find him. I guess I should put him on the map so I can just find him a lot easier, instead of digging through the Imperials every time. There we go. So we're gonna upgrade once. And 7 red.
So he used his computer when accessing it. So the computer gives him an upgrade to his, because he has 4 computers, but that gives him an upgrade for 5. He has defensive slicing 2, plus improved defensive slicing, so that upgrades it by 2, so that would be 7. And then I'm thinking you should also have a failure and a setback since he used his mini computer whenever he made the roll to override the lift.
Yeah, and he has tools of his own, so that would probably counteract the failure and the setback from the tools.
So yeah, it would be 7 red.
Ooh, that's going to be a tough one.
Oh, and 1 setback because I did specifically say cover my tracks, so there is 1 setback for cover tracks.
Right. So yeah, he's going to... I guess I should have rolled for the thing he did that didn't really require a roll, so I could have generated some advantage and boost for him.
But if it doesn't require a roll, then why would he roll?
Okay, so he's successful, but he left behind his signature, so now I get a boost whenever I roll against him.
All right.
So
he is successful.
Oh,
and...
let's see. I'm gonna go look see how many disadvantages that takes for me to get slicing. Oh, hold on. Let's see. So I'm technically the defender now since he's going into here, and you're the attacker since you're trying to attack my stuff. So okay, I can use 2 of the threat to do limited access. And it says the defender chooses 1 slicing action. The intruder cannot perform that action during the next round of this encounter. So, putting the lift on the first floor would be the action I block the attacker from being able to do. So the lift can go to floor 2 and the lift can go to floor 3, but the attacker cannot put it on floor 1.
Well, he's not moving the lift. I think it would be like a slicing action, not a...
Well, you broke you gained access to it, right? And under the slicing charts, I can use 2 threat to do the limited action, which says the defender chooses 1 slicing action. The intruder cannot perform that action. So you're able to get the lift to move. You can move the lift to floor 2. You can move the lift to floor 3, but you can't move to floor 1. That's what I'm limiting you can't.
But that's not a slicing action at that point. He already succeeded at the action of activating the lift. The slicing action would be like trying to remove you from the system or doing like something.
So just
slicing action.
He managed it this turn, but so this next round he can't enact any more commands.
Yeah, like you could make it so that he can't shut down any more systems next turn or something like that.
You're not limiting 1 specific action. You're limiting a official slicer action.
Yeah, like something.
Gain his signature. That way you can kick him out easier.
Well, that's what I'm looking for.
Well, the enact command will prevent him from,
Well,
like shutting our engines down or something like that.
Yeah, to boot someone from the system, it's an opposed computers check.
okay. Okay. Well, since these are all connected, can I prevent him from messing with the hybrid drive?
You could prevent him from further messing with it. He already disabled it, so you'd have to still enable it.
Since you're out of the system, would you be able to not be able to make him do stuff?
This is basically like the attacking slicer, the Imperial slicer set off some kind of booby trap or something like that. That he
Could I have it be a major? Well, I don't know. We'll just go. I don't want to hold up everything.
Well, I think we're about out of time for today. So if you want to resolve what you want to do with that, we could stop there. So yeah, I think because this is kind of a passive thing that's happening because you're not actually in the main system right now. It's kind of something you left behind when you were disabling the lift, and he's working against it, and you kind of left him
So should I use the computer slicing or the computer charts instead then?
Yeah, like you could have it so that he can't do if you want to do the preventing a slicing action.
The computer he's using crashes and ceases to function entirely for the duration of the encounter or narrative scene, starting after the end of this character's current turn or after the results of the current check. If this takes place in narrative time with an additional threat or despair, the failure is far more serious, spreading beyond that computer, which is certain to raise alarm. So the computer he was using to slice into this system crashes and ceases to function for the duration of this encounter.
So he has to find
cascading failure. Yeah, he'd have to use a new computer to gain access if there are multiple computers that have a remote access to this.
Yeah, so he'd probably have to take at least another round or two to, if not longer, to try and access another device that he could use.
Yep.
All right, yeah, that works. So he's kind of, in a way, he's locked out of the system. Which thing was that? I'm looking.
Computer. Yeah, I posted it in Discord general. It's cascading failure, 3 threat on a computer roll under the computer charts.
All right. Yeah. So
hitting the keys too hard. Oh, this guy's too good. Oh. Okay. I guess we'll end it. What are we doing for experience?
See, what did I give last time? 15 or 10?
I'll say 10. 15.
15 last
yeah,
time.
you did 15 last time.
Yeah, we'll say 10 because you're probably pretty close to getting the big one for kind of accomplishing the mission. So we'll say 10 this time.
Cool. Thank you. I'm going to end the stream now.
Whoa, bye YouTube.
Hello, YouTube.